this type of shit.
HP West.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if this is the right house. Hey, at least you found it.
I was just scared I was gonna walk into the house and be like, yo, what's up?
Bro, I was dead ass in the bathroom and I heard like someone lock their door and it sounded like a fucking.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? So when I looked out the door, I'm like, oh, I guess no one's here. Walk back in the bathroom. Boom, boom, boom. What the fuck, dude? Where'd he come from?
Yeah, so this is you right here. You're in the cam there, so I don't know if you wanna. You can start.
Oh, you already started it?
Yeah, it should be going now, I think.
I wish I could play guitar so bad. Something went wrong. Oh my god.
There we go.
Why? It's not letting me play it.
Really?
Yeah, just keep saying something went wrong. This TV's muted.
Right in. Fuck. Are you connected? Yeah, you must be. Okay, we don't really need it that bad. I got it right here, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know.
That's bullshit.
Someone
Let's
else.
bring it over here. I might be able to type in the link.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah, we're going, but. There's your owner. What's up, brother?
There he is.
Can I hop right in there?
This is episode 5, right? We established that
Yeah, episode 5.
finally. Even though the first ones aren't up there. This thing's all fucked up.
How you doing?
Alright, episode 5, Cavemen podcast. We got Chase Carter on. Can you introduce yourself a little bit?
My name's Chase Carter. I just dropped my first album. It's on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, anything. And I am going to college at Wentworth, and I'm playing baseball next year. So,
Okay, how old are you?
just turned 18.
So you are, did you just graduate?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. I was like, is he a senior or did he is he gonna be a senior? And Hayden thought you were gonna be a senior.
I was like, I swear he's like older. Go to Gorham?
Yes, sir. I do go to Gorham.
GHS.
Yes, sir. No.
So yeah, so first thing, obviously is the album you just dropped. I kind of want to know like the process it took to make that come to life. Like where does that start for you?
It started just in my room
Yeah,
with like, it's just, I don't know, like emotions and feelings.
yeah,
And then just turning it into music. I was really writing songs before I could even play guitar.
yeah. Okay.
And I just kinda,
Yeah. How long have you been into music?
I started playing piano about like 5 or 6 years ago, and then guitar
That's it?
1 or 2.
So how
Damn.
old were you at that point?
I was probably like 12, 13. I was in middle school.
Piano?
Yeah, I started with piano.
Okay.
You said you just picked up playing the guitar a few years ago.
Yeah, just a couple years ago, because
Yeah.
it looks cooler.
So you're better on the piano?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm better on the piano, but I like the guitar more.
Yep.
Do you find that the piano helps you with your guitar playing?
That's a really good question. I find that the piano helps with me like understanding music
Yeah,
more.
the music theory part of it, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
you have to learn a lot more theory playing the piano than kind of playing guitar. Right?
Yeah, guitar you can
Right.
just kind of pick up and start
Yeah.
strumming.
Exactly.
You can be a lot more people are self-taught on the guitar than
Yeah.
theorists.
Yeah, like me, I don't know a lick of music theory, but I just play guitar, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can just look up the tabs and you can just
Right.
shred.
I've been trying to tell Hayden want to learn how to play a guitar. I got a acoustic guitar up there, and I have no clue how to play it. And I've been trying to teach myself, and I just don't have the patience to teach myself to do it. So it's something that I'd like to get into. But I mean, you just said you've only been doing it for a few years, and you just dropped an album. So it's a pretty big accomplishment.
Yeah, that is cool.
It's
Thank you.
how many hours do you think it took you to write all the songs that? Because you had what, 7 songs?
7 songs. I have probably 15 total, but 7 I felt were ready to record and
Yep.
stuff like that.
So, you didn't record at your house, right?
Oh no.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I went to this place in Harrison, Maine,
Yeah, that's
called Big Bean Studio, and I met with this guy, and
So you had to pay for the studio time?
yeah, it was like 45 an hour.
That's no kid bag. How many hours were you in there for the whole album?
Recording 3, mixing another 3, I want to say, so 6 total-ish. 6
That's
or
not
7.
bad, I feel
no,
like.
No, it wasn't bad. Everything was pretty much one take,
Really?
1 or 2 takes, yeah.
That's pretty sick. And did you do a lot of the mixing yourself, or did you have like someone?
Yeah, this guy was he was an engineer, music
Okay.
engineer, so he did all the mixing and
Okay.
stuff, and a little bit of auto tune and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's kind of cool though. Like, I mean, if you don't mind, like, kind of walk us through the process. Like, I've always wondered like how that works. Like, where in the process did you realize like you wanted to go to an album, and then like when you wanted to go to an album, what was the first step you took, and like where did you go from there? Like, kind of just walk through like how it all started to the point where you ended up dropping that album.
So it started with my first song on the album, See You, and I was just going through like a rough time in my life when, like 2 family members passed away, and then I kind of dropped that one, and then it was just like, it was almost like a high where it's like I wanted to keep writing more and more,
Yeah.
and then eventually, it got to the point where I just kept writing songs and I really liked it, and then you go from having your songs and you want to bring them out, but I didn't want to just drop them on anything,
Yeah.
and like on
You
YouTube.
want to do it like the right way.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I took my time, kind of.
Yeah, and I think that's the way it should be done, really. Because if you're gonna, you might as well put the work into it to do it the right way, right?
Yeah, that is how I felt about it.
But it all starts in your room by yourself, just playing the guitar, right?
Yeah, and anyone can write a song.
Exactly.
It's like writing an essay.
It's a poem, pretty
Yeah.
much, right?
Yeah.
And you guys know music way better than me. Like, I mean, I like to listen to music and like sing it, whatever, do that. But when you write a song, what comes first? Are you thinking of the lyrics and then a tune to match the lyrics, or do you write the tune first? Like, how does that work?
So I'm more of like a lyricist than like a musician.
Really?
aspect.
Because I'm the complete opposite. Because like I kind of like I've attacked like writing songs a little bit. I will always write the guitar first and then put lyrics over it afterwards.
Yeah, no, I can't go that way. Usually I'm just like chilling, or I'm in the shower or something, and I just hear I hear something in my head, like a
melody.
chorus. Yeah, I hear like a chorus in my head, and I'm like, yeah, that's got something.
See, like that's what I can't do. I can't write a melody without having the guitar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'll write the guitar and I'll have like a verse section and a chorus section, and then I'll attack the lyrics to match the guitar. I find it's a lot easier for me because I've tried to just sit there and kind of think like, okay, listen to some people I'm inspired by, kind of take a couple of tips and try to do it that way, writing lyrics first, and I just can't do it.
Oh yeah, that's a great way to that's a great way to look at it. When you hear people that you're inspired by, and then try and almost mimic, but not really them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, who were some of the inspirations to your album?
I've always been a big Beatles guy, you know that.
Yeah, I know. Me and Chase did jam
Yeah.
once, or was it twice? Was it once?
I think it was once or twice.
Yeah. But I think you just played such a different type of music than I did that it was just But it was good to just talk about music and shit.
Yeah, that's the best part about music, where it's we can completely disagree and not even like our same stuff. And you're but at the end of the day, we're we still respect each other. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
and you're
music.
still learning
Right.
stuff, talking to each other, but seeing different viewpoints and stuff like that.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
I was actually talking about that with a couple guys at work. So, I'm way different than them. A lot of them the old school kind of 80s stuff like that. I don't mind it. I'll still listen to it. I'm more of a country fan, where some of them don't like that country stuff. I know Hayden told me you were coming on, and I was I didn't know who you were really. I didn't know what you did, and I listened to some of your stuff, and something that like reminded me of like the country music that I would
Yeah.
probably go listen to, you know, something like that. So I definitely got to look more into what you release, but doesn't like even if you don't like a certain genre of music or something along those lines, the talent that goes into producing it and
Absolutely.
getting it out is still there. Like
Yeah.
just because I don't like it doesn't mean that a whole following doesn't like it, and doesn't mean that that person isn't talented, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we got into the whole argument with like I don't like rap music really, but then we were talking about Eminem and like all those guys were like really old school and were like they hated it, like didn't even care to know who he was, and it's like you still have to appreciate the talent of what he's done and who he is.
Oh yeah, and those
So-
guys are all geniuses, musical geniuses in their own
Right.
aspect.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, every genre. I mean, whether they write their songs, whether they just sing it, whether they play an instrument or whatever. There's so much that goes into music that people probably don't see that you guys know the struggle of. You know.
And if you were to ask me, I think the hardest part is getting yourself out there. Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely. a
And
hard part.
I've seen you doing the TikToks and stuff, and I think that's what we really have to do nowadays, especially.
Right. Social media is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Huge.
even like, the old school way was to just get out and play everywhere, which you've been kind of doing too.
Yeah, I've
um,
been trying. That one's tough.
Yeah, I saw a couple
Yeah.
videos. You were at like the TNC and stuff playing,
Yeah.
and
So I've also kind of wondered this too. How do you go about getting a gig at these type of places?
So the TNC was pretty easy.
Yeah. Because you work there, right?
No, my grandfather.
Or you did?
He-
Did you used
no,
to?
He owns the
Oh.
TNC. So that,
Oh,
that, one,
okay,
that,
okay.
one was
Yeah.
kind
your grandfather Scott.
No,
No?
Randy is brother.
Randy, his brother. Okay, I know Scott pretty well. So, your great grandmother that
Oh,
used to
yeah.
live right back there. My mom used to take care of her and my aunt. So,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Loopy?
but I just called her Miss Labman.
Yeah,
so,
me too.
Yeah. Yeah, she was
But-
great.
She was like the nicest lady ever.
Oh, yeah.
My,
Yeah, because-
my mom and my aunt loved her.
Yeah.
She treated me and I don't know. Do you know my cousins Kaylee and Mac?
Yeah, I
Like,
think so.
McKenna Perry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, like, she treated us like we were her. Like,
Yeah.
she was just so nice to everybody. So,
Yeah, I've
Your
actually
great
met
grandmother
her.
was the
I've
shit.
actually met her a couple times because Bridget, my
Yep.
stepmother, used to take care of her also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I didn't know that.
So where else have you got like a couple gigs around here?
So it started. I just start usually by trying to go to open mics
Okay.
because I am younger, and
Yeah.
then I just play my heart out. So I
Yeah.
played one at the Franconia Inn, and then now they want me back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you've heard of the Bear. It's new in Gorham.
No, I haven't.
It's where Dermody Road was.
Oh, is that the one they're calling like the Vault or
Yeah.
something? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's also I guess
It just opened
Maybe I
like
do
today,
know-
right?
I don't know, but my friend's been working
Yep.
there, John McCucci.
is it right
He's
on Main Street?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like right across from like that little car dealership thing.
Yeah.
I think okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I saw
yeah,
like
yeah.
drum set up in there and stuff at like going to the fair the other day. I was wondering what they were doing there.
Right. Yeah. No, I just heard about. I don't know if it just opened or whatever. Like I just heard about it today, so that's why I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
some guy at work was talking about it and like looking at the menu and stuff, and I was like, I didn't even know.
Also,
that
it's a
existed.
restaurant now too.
Yeah, I guess it's like a coffee and stuff like
Like
that.
a cafe type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so my friend John played the album in the store, and the owner liked it, so
Yep.
then he wants me to come in there.
I heard a good place. Like I don't know if you know the Wildcat Tavern or whatever. in
yeah, Jackson.
But like I heard that's a good place. Like they have
Yeah.
people that do that every once. Is it once a week or something?
Yeah,
Like, they have
every
a certain
Tuesday.
night that they have somebody that goes there and does that. So that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's a nice place to go to. I used to have buddies that work there, and we used to go hang out there and stuff and hang around, and that's a really nice place.
I've never been there, but I've heard.
Yep.
I've heard it's great. Landon Crotto works there, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he does.
Or
Yep.
Ethan.
Yeah. Have you tried to get into the Medallion for a gig
Oh, I played gigs at the Medallion.
a couple times?
Yeah, I played a benefit concert not that long
Oh,
ago.
really?
It was like,
Where's that?
By yourself?
yeah, I was solo.
Like
You know where the Medallion is? It's right next to the common there, the baseball field.
that?
It's
Oh,
town
that's,
hall.
that's what it's called.
Town hall, yeah.
Oh, inside.
Yeah.
I've actually never been in there. I know.
Oh, wow.
You know Andrew Coulomb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
band.
Like yeah, but like I had no clue that was even a thing. So like I know Andrew does his stuff too and
Yeah.
stuff like I didn't even know what that was. I didn't even know they had a theater in there. Like I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was just like the police station. I didn't know they had all that other stuff in there.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, I didn't really know that too until Cabaret. And we had Cabaret there.
Yeah. So did they ask you, or did you have to kind of like you saw like a flyer or something?
Oh no, it's a benefit concert, so they were just looking for like 3 to 5 songs.
Yeah.
And one of the person setting up worked at this was a parent at our school, and she just asked me if I'd like to play, and I'm like, sure, let's do it.
That's cool.
The more exposure, the better, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you did the talent show there too, yeah?
No, I
You
didn't.
didn't end up doing it?
No, I didn't. I was gonna do the talent show, but then Ant broke his hand.
Oh.
I didn't have a drummer.
Shit.
Yeah.
Did you end up going? Like, you didn't watch it either?
I
Me neither. I kind of wanted to go. I was supposed to do it with Dom, but it was like, I didn't know until like a couple days before, and we're like, dude, I don't know if we can throw together a couple songs that fast, you know?
Yeah, it's stressful.
Yeah, for sure.
And where did you say you were going to school again?
Wentworth, right in Boston.
Okay.
That's-
Yep. I actually had a buddy that started there. He ended up transferring to UNH, but I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm a big country music fan, so I don't know if you know Luke Combs' story or whatever.
I
If
don't
you've
know
ever
the
heard
story.
that, but like he was kind of like the same as you. Never really picked up a guitar, self-taught himself, whatever. I remember seeing this story not too long ago, and he was working at a bar or restaurant doing the same thing, like in a city like that, and his owner was like against him playing in it, just doing like an open mic, just playing in it, and they had apartments upstairs, and he actually lived upstairs, so he was like, I'm the one that lives upstairs, like it's not gonna bother anybody.
Yeah.
He went to a rival bar across the street and did like an open night or whatever, and they wanted him back, kind of same thing, you know, and it just got to the point where he went back to his boss and was like, hey, they want me to come back, I want to do it here, so I don't have to keep, you know what I mean? And that's how he started his career. So
Yeah, and I think,
being in a city like that, you
yeah,
have so
I was
much
just going to say, I
opportunity,
feel
you
like
know?
that's going to be a good spot for you to get exposure down there for sure.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of, like you said, a lot of bars and everything else. So.
I feel like the biggest thing would be like, I mean, I don't even know how to give you advice for it because I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like the biggest thing I would tell you, just don't be scared.
Yeah.
Ask. You know what I mean? The worst they could say is no, and if they say no, you wouldn't be doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So go for it.
Yeah. So, what are you studying?
I'm debating right now between engineering and business management. Because if I do engineering and baseball, that's going to be my life.
Yeah.
And if I do business management, I can minor in music.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. That'd be cool for sure.
And now, are you familiar with like the socials at all in Gorham?
Yeah, Max and.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you ever like connected with Max? Because I know he went to school for music and stuff like that, and I don't know like exactly what his major is, but I didn't know if he had any insight for you or anything.
So I've never actually really met him,
Mhm.
but I was talking to our guidance counselor at the time, and she was saying how like he was set on this, and in the last month, before like school and stuff, he ended up going to California and stuff like that, and I thought that was cool. And
Yeah,
it's tempting, but
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he went to a pretty big music school from what I hear. Like, I know his brother pretty well and stuff, and he's doing great out there. Like I said, I don't really know what it entails. Like, I don't know what it is, but I know it's a music school, and he's learning all that stuff, and just like the stuff that he does. His family went out there for a couple things that he did, and shows that he plays, and just a college that I think is helping him network himself as well too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a cool thing. But I mean, the more friends you meet and stuff like that, hopefully they'll be able to disperse all the stuff you want to put out and everything like that.
So when you go down there, would you like to kind of put together a band, or are you just kind of sticking with the solo stuff? Maybe get like a couple hired guns to just a couple background instruments, or are you thinking you're gonna do like a more band type thing?
I'm probably gonna stay solo, and
Yeah.
then next winter I'm trying to come out with another album.
Yeah.
About 15 songs.
Nice.
So then if I'll have like 22 songs, I'll be able to put almost a whole set list together of
Yeah.
songs,
Right.
a couple covers.
Yeah.
But probably more solo, but who knows? I could meet some guys, and I just love jamming with them, and
Yeah.
could transform into something.
You could do both too. A lot of artists do that. So.
Yeah.
And do you plan on like putting in any, like when you write your own songs and play the guitar and write it? Like I said, I haven't listened to much of it yet. Just like kind of a couple clips here and there. Do you plan on putting in like playing a different instrument and adding that all together into a song? Like, did you do that in your album, or is it kind of just you and the guitar and singing?
So I'm planning on next album. I'm gonna have a drummer. Right now I'm just trying to get better at guitar right now.
Yeah.
Add a couple so I can. It's because I can write guitar solos now, but they're not great, and I didn't want to come out with like mediocre stuff on my album.
Right.
Yeah.
So next album I'll definitely have those, especially because I like to try and keep it diverse. So I want to, like, just that's what I loved about the Beatles and stuff like that. Whereas on their album they'll have a country song, and then they'll have like
Right.
a heavy rock song for the time, and then they'll have like a poppier song. I like to do that.
Yeah, and that's kind of a good thing right now. Like you looking up to them, I feel like as big as they were back then, I feel like they'd fit in this culture so good right now.
And
It's
you
like
know what
some
I-
of the. Go ahead.
You know what I've been seeing is I think the more rock type of stuff is starting to make that slow comeback, and the reason I say that is because Lil Uzi Vert dropped his new album,
Yeah,
right? And
half
he
rock.
has, and he had like Bring Me the Horizon and shit like that on his album, which is huge for rock and metal being on such a big album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's good.
And then another big one you look at, like, I don't know, like I said, country again, Hardy. He's like,
yeah.
he's going to that like hardcore,
Yeah, a little bit
back to
more
like that rock
metal
stuff,
yeah.
and like, I definitely agree with you. I think it's making a comeback, and
Yeah.
it's kind of cool to see that these big artists nowadays aren't tied to just like one genre,
Yeah.
and it brings in a whole bigger following.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing is just, you know, if you can draw in this crowd and then draw in that crowd and combine them together,
Yeah.
that's
Like
that's a
Lil-
win-win for everybody.
Yeah, like when people hear "Bring Me the Horizon" on Lil Uzi albums, you might lose a couple fans, but guess what? He's getting all of the "Bring Me the Horizon" fans. You know what I mean?
Right.
And shit like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
sure.
And I used to not like country at all and stuff like that. And then I went to a Thomas Rhett concert,
Yep.
and it's country is just rock.
Yeah.
The drummers, the guitar solos, everything but the singing is just rock.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like modern rock music, and
Right.
gave me a new perspective on it. And
Yeah, going to
Stuff's
a
good.
concert can completely change your look on a band.
Mhm.
Because like, I've been to a lot of concerts where I like going into it, I'm like, okay, you know, I don't really mess with this band that much. Like you listen to them a little bit, but you're like, yeah, they're all right. And then you go see them live, and it's completely different.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
But,
Being at an actual concert
Yeah.
for anything is just
Absolutely.
so different
It's a great
compared to
experience.
hearing it on anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want a concert that'll change your perspective, go to a John Mayer concert.
Did you go to one?
I've been to 2 John Mayer concerts. One is his new album dropped, and then the next one was a solo acoustic.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a better guitar player than
Yeah, I have seen him. He's a great guitar player. But back to like the writing the album stuff. Your album now is fully acoustic, yes.
yeah.
So, would you you're talking about solos and stuff. Would you add kind of that more clean electric guitar into there for solos?
So my next album, I have this one song that I'm writing right now currently, and it's called Rose or Roses. I don't really know yet. And it's like a '90s alternative song, power
Nice.
chords on the electric,
Yeah.
gain.
Gain, yeah. And I also want to ask you. So you said you started writing solos. So how do you kind of attack writing a solo when that time comes?
So the first thing you have to look at is the circle of fifths, which
Yeah.
is just like pretty much your guide to writing chord progressions.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I have seen that. So and you're pretty much you know what chords are being played.
Yeah, the
And then you
keys.
kind of using scales and stuff in those same keys
Yeah.
to make the solo over
That's
those
yeah,
chords,
that's
right?
exactly what it is,
So
yeah.
Okay.
just me here, like you know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So me, can you guys dumb that down for me? Because I don't know if the people watching
let me
it,
try.
because
So-
I don't know what you're talking about. You guys understand it, but I don't know if they'll understand
So-
it either. So
And when you're playing a guitar, there's chords, which is every single song you've ever heard on a guitar. It's all major chords. And what he was talking about, the circle of fifths, is kind of just tells you like what chords you can kind of connect,
Yeah,
right?
what mesh together, what sound
Yeah.
good.
right,
So then after you have your major chords laid down with like your strumming guitar, then you know what chords are coming, so then you can use those. It's a chord has a key, and then so it's like an E or an E chord, a G chord, you know what I mean? So you use that key and then you use like an E scale, which is just like a bunch of notes that are all tied together, like
right,
and then you use that. Just use E for an example. That E scale to, while the E chord is being played, you're using the E scale to play that solo. Pretty much.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so the easiest way I can put this is a chord is three notes,
Yep.
So if you think of a piano, the C major scale is every white note on the piano. It's the C major scale, and there's octaves, but
Yeah.
C, D, E, F, G, A, B is all in the scale. So you can use those notes on the guitar in any rhythm, any pattern you want, and that'll sound good. But
Right.
if you try and extend it to too much, where you start using sharps and flats, it's not going to sound as good in that scale, unless you go from the C scale to the scale, which has one sharp, I believe, or one sharp.
It's a lot. There's a lot to learn in music for sure.
Yeah.
And so, I guess basically, if you stay on the same scale, that's kind of like playing a guitar compared to playing the piano. They can mesh together if you stay on the same scale.
Oh,
And
yeah.
is that with
That's with any
that's
instrument.
with bass? That's with any.
That's
Yeah,
how
right,
that's
right.
how it all
That's how
comes
bands
together.
play
Is
together.
everyone's playing in the same key.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's
See,
how,
that's
like-
something like I would never
Yeah.
know. You know what I mean? So
Except I never understand drums. Drums make so fucking sense.
Yeah,
like, I don't.
drums just feel.
Yeah.
I don't
Literally.
get that either. That's
Makes no
all.
sense,
That's
yeah.
all.
I feel like the guitarist just lays down a riff and the guy just hops on the drum set and just finds what works. You know what I mean? That's what I
Right.
think of
He's
it.
like, yeah, this sounds good.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually
It's
know
kinda- Yeah.
the metrics of it or anything
Yeah.
like that.
But like people read like charts for drums, which I don't understand. Is that more
Yeah,
just
I
like the
don't get that.
measurements and like the beat, like the actual timing and shit? I'm guessing.
So what I got was the notes are like the different like A's, like
Yeah.
a snare.
So
and
there is like an ace, like a snare is technically like a certain key.
I think so. I have no clue on drums. I don't mess with the drums. It sounds
So-
weird.
on guitar, like I know you write your own songs, but like I know you like to play like songs. Do you play other songs too, like other people's songs?
Yeah, 100%.
So when you guys listen to a song, can you pick up what chords they're playing and teach yourself that, or do you look up the chords and read it off and play it? Like how does that work?
Somewhat. Sometimes when I listen to a song and it's just like a major chord progression, sometimes you can kind of pick up what they're playing. But the way that I attack learning a new song, which for me is the easiest way, all I do is I look up the song and guitar cover, and all I have to see the chords that they're playing, and it's done. You know what I mean? But obviously, the more difficult of the song, the more kind of in detail reading,
Right.
reading tabs and shit like that.
Right.
So my grandfather can do the craziest thing, where I just put a song on his phone. It doesn't matter. It can be a rap song, and he just listens to it, and he just knows the chord progression,
Yeah.
and he can just start
That's
playing it
cool.
on the piano,
That's cool.
and it just blows my mind because I have no clue where it
And so
starts.
that's
Right.
almost like perfect pitch, almost, when people just kind of know what key everything is, right?
Well, he doesn't have perfect pitch, because I've asked him, and I'm like,
Okay.
perfect. But what he does is he just goes do 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 do.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
And he just starts playing the song like with the recording,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that
Right.
is-
That's so really cool though to be able to like understand it that well
Yeah,
and
for sure.
and fully get there.
So, was your grandfather a big influence on you with playing music?
Oh yeah, seeing him, he plays live at the TNC and all these different gigs, and just seeing that, always just like, I'm like a little kid in a candy
Yeah.
shop, and just seeing him play, and then he's taught me piano. He's taught me everything I learned on piano, and then I use that theory to now try and master the guitar.
So,
but,
did you never took any classes or anything? You just kind of learned from him?
I took technically 3 virtual lessons,
Okay.
and then I can't read music.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it was like the worst part about piano is not only do you have to play the right hand while reading music, is you also have to play the left hand at the same time.
Yeah.
So I have to read 2 different scales with a bunch of different notes, and it's like
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck
that's
that.
tough, yeah. For sure. I understand that.
Let's just play some chords.
Yeah. Oh, I was listening.
I was gonna say something earlier about like when we were talking about the different genres of music, and like the thing that I really like is like, while I don't like listen to the heavy metal and stuff
Yeah.
like that, I see the techniques of the
Yeah.
like and I'm
Right.
like, that's sick.
Yeah.
So I learned that technique even though I don't really like the
Yeah.
style of music, and then I can implant it in any style of
Absolutely,
music.
and I think that's so key, is just kind of taking any type of education and knowledge and skills, like you said, and just implementing that in any way you can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's like I said, to me it's like foreign. So like hearing you
Yeah.
guys talk about it, it's actually pretty cool because if you go back to like the first episode or whatever, that Tom guy I was talking about that I work
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
he does that like rock stuff, and he's
Yeah.
the same way. He likes to write his own stuff rather than like make other music. So he'll jam out and do like this bunch of rock stuff on the electric guitar and post his videos, and I'm like, it's just so cool, like hearing the beat and everything he does, and he's going hard. And then at work, he'll be showing me videos of these other people doing it, and he's like, I couldn't do this. But like to me, what he does looks so advanced.
Yeah.
And then what he looks at for other people, it looks
Yeah.
so much more
Yeah,
advanced.
yeah.
And I'm like, that's just, it's crazy how the different levels of progression to do stuff is there.
Yeah, because
So-
everyone watches me play guitar. They're like, oh my god, how do you do that, dude? And it's like the easiest thing I've ever done in my life.
Right.
And I'm like a very low level guitarist. You know what I mean? And
Right.
everyone's like, oh my god, you're so good. But like a very low level, which is like, I wish people would understand that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that too, because it's like, I'll play something and I'll fuck up and I'll get mad, and then they're like, oh my god.
They
that
don't
was
even
so
know.
good. Yeah,
They don't
yeah,
even have a
exactly.
clue. It's
Yeah,
the
no,
best
you have
thing.
no clue.
Until
Yeah,
a
you
real
fuck up.
guitarist sees
Yeah,
you.
Right.
yeah, I know, that's
But-
true, yeah.
That's one of the things about music is like music connects with everybody, but not everybody understands it. Like I wish I understood it more than I do, and I try to, but it's so hard. I mean,
The language.
you
It's a language.
you won
on its own.
Player of the Year this year for baseball.
Yeah, I did win
So-
D4 Player of the Year.
That I mean, being an athlete is one thing, but then understanding music is a whole different. Like, you can be an athlete and be good at a sport and everything, but like the IQ and stuff. That's what I compare music to. Like, anybody can
Yeah.
compare to watching a sport or being an athlete or something like that, but having the knowledge of the game in itself. So when you compare it to music, anybody can listen to music, anybody can be a music fan, but like the knowledge that you guys bring to music, not everybody can have. So that's a huge deal.
So kind of tying those
So-
two things together, like,
Yeah.
you're getting hyped up for like a big game, whether it's whatever, basketball, baseball. It's like, you're like on the bus and you're like about to pull up to the game. You're like, okay, I gotta get fired up. What's the first song you're putting on?
First 18 by Chase Carter.
That's a
Alright,
good
okay.
answer. That's a good answer.
Nah, honestly, I had to throw in a self promo, but
Absolutely.
no, honestly. Hold on. I don't know the names of it, but they're Kanye.
Yeah.
It's
I think you keep hitting that plug behind you.
No, it's plugged in over here.
Oh.
I think there's just so many things plugged in over here. But anyway, yeah.
It's Good Life and Can't Tell Me Nothing by Kanye.
Yeah, those are bangers. I love that.
Good
whole
Life
album.
is a absolute banger.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Can't Tell Me Nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, those
That
get
album
me
is
fired.
amazing.
But honestly, I don't know if you guys, you say you're a country guy, you know Darius Rucker.
Yeah.
His Hootie and the Blowfish days.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Absolutely.
What's it called? Let It Cry. Let Her Cry.
Darius Rucker is
That gets me fired up. 90s alternative gets me fired up for games
See, like
too.
that's
Definitely.
that's one to me. I don't know.
really.
You don't know Hootie and the Blowfish?
I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never
Oh,
that's an alternative band, like a more like grunge scene. type
yeah,
of
like
band.
90s. They have a couple they're alternative, but they're like the lighter alternative. They're not like
Yeah. Not like as grungy.
yeah,
Like
Corn. I don't know,
like an
compared.
Oasis type of thing, alternative, or like a little
Yeah.
bit more poppy. Than
Yeah,
that.
less a little bit like like Oasis, like stuff like that.
A little bit more
Crows.
like
Right.
electric guitar though.
Yeah.
No, it's funny you said that though. I don't know if we ever went into like talking about like what hypes you up for like sports and stuff like that. Like, what do you listen to? I feel like you're a hardcore
Oh,
guy. Like
for
you listen to
sure.
like this hardcore, like
Dude,
get me amped up.
for
stuff.
sure. Dude, remember that time a couple years ago? I sent you that Lamb of God song.
I was,
I was
thinking of that too.
I was like, hey, listen to this song, and dude, yeah,
I was crying.
Tilt that up more.
yeah, dude, I got blinded.
I know.
like
I
four
can't. I
times
can't
already.
see right now.
But yeah,
I remember the first lyric was like, "I kill." Like it was
Yeah.
like, it was just too. I was like, I don't know.
yeah,
what it
that's the
was.
type of shit. Like when I'm pulling up to a game, it's like, dude, pound my fucking ears off, down tune guitars and screaming. That's what I like.
So you like drink like a Celsius or bang before the game.
Oh, dude, before every soccer game, the Red Bull down the hatch, about one
Damn,
sip,
that's
down the hatch.
just crazy. I know we talked about me drinking like soda and stuff like that, like
Oh,
the sun
dude.
kiss before games. And
Ask
stuff like
Jonah,
that,
dude. Red Bull down the hatch before every game.
That's-
Not a Celsius can.
Oh, dude, the Celsius
just-
cans were bad, dude.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. I'm kind of a keep it calm guy.
Oh, fuck. Soccer's bad.
yeah.
And no,
Uh,
actually basketball too. I would take pre-workout before every basketball game. I'd be in the locker room fucking punching the wall and shit. Like I just have to get fired up. But then like it's weird. As soon as I get on the field or on the court, it's just dialed. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
So,
not like I'm
Chase,
out
I know
there.
you were like Kanye and like I don't even know like old like Young Money and stuff like that. Like if I'm in that mood, that's kind of like what I'm like.
He's like
I'm
a Taylor
feeling.
Swift guy before his
But
games.
yeah,
I can get with that, bro.
like it's just so weird. Like I like that like pop kind of like.
Yeah, but it makes
Groovy.
sense because you
Hold
said
up,
it just
hold up,
it kind
bro.
of chills you out, right?
Yeah.
Can I
it
play
just-
a song on the podcast?
Absolutely.
Just
It's
don't
just
put
like
it too close to the mic or else it'll cut out.
yeah, it just I don't know. Like, it just soothes me to the point where I'm like I'm so focused. Like I'm just like all right, I'm in. I'm locked in.
Bro, every bus ride, I'd jam to this. I don't know if you guys, you know, you probably don't know this song.
What is it?
And everyone would be like, bro, why you turning this on again? And I'd be like,
Just jamming.
and that's the stuff that I listen to before games.
Yeah,
And-
see, I didn't know that one, but yeah, I mean, you could throw on some like old Nicki Minaj, some Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, like anything that is like in that pop genre,
Yeah.
and I would be like dialed, like I'm
No, but
ready
I
to
can-
go.
I can get behind like some rap before a game. Like our soccer warm up is like pretty much all rap, and that
Yeah.
shit gets me fired up like big time too. Like home games when it's on the big speakers and shit, like that gets me pretty
Yeah.
hyped up.
I mean,
But if I'm like by myself on the bus, oh yeah, it's like the heaviest metal you've ever heard in your life.
that
I'm serious.
that is one of the things. Like, I mean, baseball we never really had anything. That was tough.
Yeah, baseball's tough because you're on the field for so long before the game actually starts. I feel like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Right.
you're there an hour before,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
stretching, you're playing toss.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
But hockey, like I said, I would listen to my own music, have my own headphones, kind of do my own thing,
Yeah.
get tuned in.
Yeah.
But then like you do hit the ice, and like it is nice to kind of hear like it's not really like hardcore stuff, but like
Yeah.
I don't know, like Enter Sandman was a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Um,
yeah, I know what you're saying. Like the
Disturbed
mainstream.
had some good ones, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like when you're on the ice, it's okay to go with it because you can kind of take out some aggression. But definitely when I'm sitting in the locker room, I got all my stuff on and I'm sitting in my locker and I'm just sitting there like the only thing I want to be doing is getting dialed in and I'm head bobbing.
Yeah.
I'm doing a little dance like. That's when I'm listening to my pop music. Like I'm just,
With your
I'm
Be-
getting
with your
locked
Bieber hair?
in. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, throw some Justin Bieber in there, and it's on. Like I could listen to that all day too.
Alright, so I got a question because I never played hockey and I always wanted to because it looks sick. What's it like? You net one at home, and you just look at the crowd and you drop a celly. What is that feeling?
Oh, it's just, it's like the best feeling I think you could have. When you ask that question, I have two in mind. The year after we graduated, like 12 seniors after we won the championship, so it was like a
Nobody.
big deal.
You
Like,
were
counted
like
us out and
underdogs,
everything.
yeah.
And then we played Belmont Guilford at home, and somewhere there's a video of it. But I went on a breakaway and I scored, and it was over Thanksgiving break or Christmas break, one of the
So
two. It must have been-
everybody
it must
was
have been
out.
Christmas break. Christmas
place
break.
was
So like,
packed,
everyone
yeah?
was home, and like it was in the second period, so we were shooting towards the lobby, and I went on a breakaway and ended up scoring. And like the only thing I remember is just like I didn't even celly, like I just went straight into the
Yeah.
boards, hands up, right to everybody that just graduated, like the whole like senior group that just graduated last year. That was really cool.
Yeah.
There was nothing like that, you know, like because I was really close with that senior group too. Like those were
You
those
were
were
a
like
junior?
the people I grew up with, and I was a junior that year. Yeah, so they were 2 years older than me, and that one was cool. That one is like a memory that sticks out. But the one that sticks out like the most, we played Lebanon, a D2 team at the time. I don't know if they still are, but I know we still play them quite a bit. I don't know if they dropped down or if we just still play them every year now.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we went into overtime, and I ended up coming away from where everyone stands. Like everyone stands on one side,
Yeah,
and then I went away and ended up scoring in overtime. And just like in my head, I was like, I can't go this way. Like there's nobody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have to go back that way. Like I turned away from my own teammates to go celebrate with the fans, and just went in like to the boards, and it was just incredible. I think Berlin fans support people better than any.
Oh,
Any-
they're
I mean-
diehard.
I mean, Gorham's all right too, but like you guys are just smaller. Like you don't have the other, like, you know what it's hard to explain.
Did
but
you
like,
go to that Gorham Berlin game this year in
The
Gorham?
basketball
I
game.
In
didn't, no,
Gorham?
I didn't.
Dude,
The
no.
Gorham one,
we
yeah,
saw-
even in Gorham was pretty good.
When we scored, you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
But when Berlin scored, the place erupted. We're like,
Nuts.
what, are we the home team? Like,
Right.
what's going on?
No. I mean, Berlin travels well, but like at home, there's
Dude, that game at our place
Yeah.
was insane.
seeing that one.
I
I
was
was
having
actually
fun.
watching on my phone.
Yeah.
I wasn't home. I
Especially
was watching.
since-
I was actually in Plymouth at the
Costume
arena.
night.
I had playing broom ball. So I was at Plymouth in the locker room watching it on my phone when that happened. That was a sick game.
Yeah, you
Just
scored the
because-
game winner at the end.
Yeah, I did have
right
a game
over
winner,
Brennan.
and but yeah, dude, like it was just so electric, especially since it was such a close game, like right till the end. Like there's a video of it, just like right at the buzzer, me going up to the fans and like getting engulfed by the fans, and then there's Jonah's little brother getting held back by Evan. He's going like, yeah! and his whatever his elf costume, dude. It was so funny.
And I think the worst thing, honestly, I don't know how you guys feel, but even when I went through school, the grades before me, is like the fact that we aren't combined. Like we are, but we aren't.
Yeah.
There's some teams that I look at like, man, our basketball team, when I was there and a little before me, like you had Bryson and Sam and to the group we had. And that doesn't. I don't want to take away from the group you had. I just don't know everybody else that you had. Like I know Bryson was there. I know Sam
Lance.
was there. But like we had Evan, Joey, Seth. Like you combine those guys, like they're like yeah, we would still be a D3 school, and I don't think any D3 school is touching that basketball team.
No.
Before I even got to high school and before my time, soccer, Gorham had a nasty soccer team, and Berlin had a nasty soccer team.
Dude, that's like right now. If our soccer teams were to combine, we're going all the way for sure.
And like the thing is we would still stay in D3, and like
Yeah.
you guys compete in D4 and we compete in D3, but when you add them all together, it would be crazy. Even girls soccer starting out, like there's times where you guys have had a good soccer team and we've had an okay soccer team, but you combine them, there's so many athletes in each town that when you combine them, it makes so much more sense. And I get from the political side of view why it doesn't happen, but me being a sports guy, when I look at it, if you combine teams, there's not many Division III teams because we wouldn't have to move up.
Yeah.
We would still stay Division III. There's not many Division III teams unless, obviously Guilford would still be like a soccer problem.
Yeah, and basketball.
And basketball.
Basketball, there'd still be some teams that would be a problem. Baseball, you're still going to run into those powerhouse teams. But
Baseball team. Would be
hockey, you're still going to run into those teams because we're already combined in that.
Yeah, that's a
But-
dumb thing. Like, how come hockey can do it, but none of us?
Right. But it's
Because you guys
they
don't have hockey. Yeah, okay.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, like if you combine these other sports that we're talking about, they would just be so disgusting, and it wouldn't even be.
Fair.
It would just like it'd be so cool. Like instead of having people that, and that was the biggest thing. Like, Bryson and Sam. The only reason I throw them out there is because they were like the two biggest from Gorham when we were there. Like, you become rivals with them, so when you play against them, you don't like them. But at the same time, like we're so close together, and everything community-wise is meshed together that you're friends with them outside of everything but sports.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Yeah.
And in sports growing up, I've been in
Exactly. Like we
Right,
played
well,
on the
you
same
guys, like
team.
you guys play like I mean,
That's what I was just gonna get to.
Cal Ripken, you grow up playing everything together,
they
and then
know.
all of a sudden they just break you up, and it's just like it sucks so bad.
Yeah, and then you go
Um,
play the other D3 school. Like, you play D3 schools, like White Mountains, who's made up of Lancaster, Whitefield,
Right.
and all those kids grew up playing together and stuff
And-
like that. And then it
yeah.
just,
And the crazy thing is, like, I don't know how it is now for you guys, but I mean, White Mountains won it like 3 years in a row. 2 years, I think, when I was there, and one after, or one when I was there, and then two after, whatever it was. But when we were growing up, and we played like they called themselves the Great North Woods in baseball
Yeah.
and whatever it was.
Yeah, Cal
like our
Ripken.
Caribbean, we smoked them every year. Like it wasn't
Yeah,
like
we did too. Like,
Yeah,
well,
and
our
then
kids
there's a
were-
certain
so
point.
Another athlete, like Hunter Deslets, like
oh yeah,
forgetting about like
big Gorm guy.
yeah, like we were so good in baseball growing up with Cal Ripken and the All Stars, and I mean we never like went anywhere, but like districts that was always around here.
Yeah, that's what you played for.
Yeah, it was just like we like there was no team that competed with Berlin and Gorham when you combined. So to end up splitting up when you get older sucks.
Yeah, and it's just weird.
Yeah,
Right.
Because if you guys do play in the summer, you're teammates with them again, or you're hanging out with them, or something like that.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're rivals.
Yeah, and then you play against each other. You're like, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, I mean, I forget what award it was, but, like, you take Landon Crotto, who he won, like, one of the big awards for the hockey team this year.
Yeah.
And he's from Gorham, but then he goes and has to play baseball, and he's a really good baseball player, and he has to play against. I mean, did you guys play against each other this year? Brown and Gorham? No. So,
Didn't want to smoke.
right. So you guys were a good baseball team.
No,
this
they
year.
didn't.
We beat Kennett. We beat Kennett.
So you guys
Kennett's had run, y'all.
actually, I mean,
Knocking, bro.
low key though, like, I mean, you don't hear about Gorham so much right now because, no offense, like you guys are D4, but
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you just graduated, but low key, like soccer wise and baseball wise and basketball wise, like you guys have a wicked athletic group right now. I don't know who's in your class. I don't know who you graduated. Obviously, you just won Player of the Year for baseball.
No,
Your
we're
class,
walking
your
loads.
class
play.
was like
Me,
who?
Landon, and
Yeah, you landed.
So
and
you
that's
guys
what
were
I-
stacked, and then
Carson and soccer.
like even like younger than you guys, like Gorham.
Yeah.
Gorham is low key like sneaky right now, and it's like, you know, just you combine those with. And Berlin and Gorham are so close together, but I guess you don't really realize how much bigger Berlin actually is because Berlin's small,
Yeah.
but Gorham's so small.
Yeah,
Like, how many did you graduate this year?
36.
36. So like,
That's a big class for one.
right.
It's a big class.
It's a big class, but like,
That's the biggest
so
class
if you
in the
take
school.
if you take the class this year, like, what's that? Like triple their size. Like it was almost 90 kids. Like, so as small as Berlin is, it's triple the size of the town next to them.
Which would make it so much easier for them to just
Right.
for us to absorb them. But I wanted to ask,
Mhm.
as a kid from Gorham, is that something that you've like wanted?
No.
Really?
No, we don't want the D3 smoke.
No, but like
It's-
combining with us, that's not something you guys are like would be hype about.
The thing is like we're gross for D4,
So you kind of want to say that.
and we just like the way that like guys like Jake and Dylan talk about D3, like it scares us. That's the way we look at it.
Yeah. So the way we look at it is we're like, okay,
Oh.
we're middle of the pack, in pretty much every sport except for basketball. Anyway, yeah, but you know we do decent most of the time. The sports vary obviously, but so what we think is we just imagine if we stayed in the same division and took on every single athlete that Gorham has,
It
we would be
yeah.
multitudes better. That's
And
what we
like-
think.
Okay, hear me out. I got a better idea. You take the top athletes from Berlin, you slide them into D4.
I could never.
Yeah.
See, that'd be tough. Like,
And it's like
even-
the name too. We'd have to go by Berlin Gorham.
right. Even going.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
even going like.
But that's what. Oh, sorry to cut you off, but that's how it would be because it would be a regional school.
Yeah,
It would, it might not be Berlin Gorham. It might take on a whole new name.
Andrew
you know what I mean?
Scoggin.
Yeah, exactly, something like that. But anyway.
But even going to like Division 3, it was a weird feeling. Like I remember, I was in like 6th grade when the hockey team first went to Division 3. They had
was
higher
D1,
hopes.
right?
Like yeah, they had higher hopes when we first started in Division 3, and it took us a while to get like a first title and everything. But one of the like hardest things to go by is like now. I think everyone is like no offense, but like when you say D3 scares you, I think it's just because of the way you were brought up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't blame any kids for anything, and I don't blame you for saying that because at the same time, like obviously every time you compete with somebody, you want to be better than them. So like you don't want to go play a D1 school. Like I'm not gonna go out there and play a D1 school. Or right now, me being 23, I'm not gonna go to a college and say I can walk on this team because I'm better than them. Like I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? So the way you were raised plays a big part in it. And when I was growing up, I was playing these select teams with kids that were playing for Bedford, which was the best D1 team in the state, playing in Division 1 midgets. Like we were playing these teams, and then when you get to high school, it was almost like you're taking like a step back. And now when I look at our hockey programs, they're playing in Division 3, Division 4. They call it Tier 3, Tier 4, whatever you want to call it.
Heard about youth hockey?
Yeah, they play in like Tier 3, Tier 4. So these kids, when they grow up and they get to high school, like they're used to that level.
Yeah.
But when we were growing up, I mean, we had we had Mark Dorvell, Steve Vianney, Donnie LeBrecq, all these guys that Mark Dorvell played at UNH, almost went pro. We had Donnie was one of the best goalies to come out of Berlin. Steve played for the Maroons and all this. Like, they pushed us so hard because they played at that level that they wanted us to do that. Where the coaches now are okay with letting their kids, like, that participation trophy.
Yeah.
Like, just play and do it. And everyone, and that's one of my biggest thing nowadays is everyone blaming the generation now. Like, saying,
Yeah.
how is this generation the way they are? Like, you guys are screwed. You're screwed.
See, but I was just
Where
about.
did we learn that from?
I
You know
was
what
just
mean?
about
like, you
to-
taught that to us.
I was just
Yeah.
about to blame them because I think the reason why they can't push them like that is because their kids are soft to say, okay, I'll quit.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's.
But I guess they do. They get their morals from their parents,
Yeah,
right?
don't let your kids quit.
But
Yeah.
that's what I don't get. Like, everyone talks about, like, so if we look at our grandparents are probably like the most strictest. Like they had that growing up hardcore.
Yeah.
They made it themselves. They did it. They were workers doing
Yeah,
all
But
this.
you can't expect it to be the same. Everything evolves. You
No,
know what I mean?
I get that too, but then our parents, who grew up in the strictest time, you know what I mean?
Broke
say-
all the rules.
But but then our parents say, "Oh, well, I don't know how your generation is like this because our parents weren't like that. Our parents didn't do this." But I think our grandparents were so strict on our parents that our parents kind of reeled back a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't want that.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
they knew what it was like going through it. So I'm not blaming parents and I'm not blaming grandparents for it. I'm just saying there's a trickle down effect that happens to everything, and I think there is going to be a rebound the other way because, yes, they say our generation sucks. They say this. So when we grow up, you might not be able to punish your kids or do this or what, but eventually that's going to change because our generation isn't going to want this to keep
Wait,
continuing.
are we technically the same generation?
I don't know. I really don't know when it went from like millennials to whatever the
Gen
fuck
Z.
you call it or whatever. So I think
I
we
feel-
are. I
are
think
you
it
sure?
ended. I think it ended in like '98. I want to say
When were you born?
'99.
Oh, so you're on the cusp.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have
So
to
like
look that up.
Logan would be a millennial.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look that up because
I gotta piss while you do that. Excuse me.
I do too right now, but I'm just holding it in because there is. Let's see.
Hey, you wanna play a couple games after?
I'll play some tunes.
Yeah, we kind of got off topic of that.
Yeah, we
I was
did.
gonna ask you. So, 1980s, starting birth years in the mid 1990s to the early. That doesn't really tell me nothing. That is the most. So Generation Z was born between 1995 and 2012, where millennials were born between 1981 and 1996. So I would be a Gen Z with you guys.
You're the first batch of Gen Z.
Right, like I'm right in that group. And but really though, like I don't think they're that far off. Like I don't.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because it doesn't really. Because what's the difference between you and a guy that was born?
Right, 3-4 years before me. Or
Yeah,
What's the difference? Like, I mean.
yeah, and like in class we've talked about the pendulum swing.
Yep.
Where it was like, in the 50s we were in like the what was it called, the Cold War, and everyone
Yep.
was wicked conservative and stuff like that. And you look at the 60s, it's all hippies and
Right, and it's weird because like. I mean, I don't want to get into politics and stuff like that, but like, the one thing that stands out to me is like my grandfather talking about how when he first started voting and like he was younger, he was like more democratic. He's technically an independent now, but he sees things the other way. Like, he just told me about the way that parties have changed, and it's just so weird to think like evolution, I guess. You know what I mean? Like it's a mind thing, but at the same time, it's also just like people get their own. And social media honestly ruins it. I feel
Yeah.
like, but at the same time, social media can be good used in the right way, bad used in the wrong way.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about social media.
yeah, I was talking about that the other day too. It's like the news outlets. Like I never see anything good on the news. Like, why the hell do I want to watch the news?
Yeah.
Like I don't watch the news, and people are like, "Oh my god, how do you not know what's going on in the world?" Because I don't care. When's the last time the news put somebody on for doing something good? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like when do they highlight? Like they feed off that negative energy, and then they also like to tear down the other side, which
Oh,
just,
I hate that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just makes, and then they complain about how diverse this country is and how diverse the world is. But like, the only thing you guys do is tear down the other side. Like, you will never hear one side talk good about the other and the other side talk good, and it's just like, why? Like, we're all the same at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a weird situation.
Jason, wanna play, bud? I'll give you the.
Yeah, we kind of got away from it, but I was gonna ask you when we were talking about your music, what's your favorite song on the 7 songs you released?
Oh boy. You sound like a kid.
Right? I mean,
So I
yeah,
think-
of course you fall in love with every song
I
you
think
play.
what you should do
right?
before you play each song is just give a little background like you usually do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Will you get all this ready? I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
I'll kind of, I should pick it up, but. Give a little bit.
Where do you work?
I thought you had weekends off.
Around the city? What do you do? What do you do?
I work at
Conservation, dude.
Not really. I work at the state. I work at Jericho State Park, but it's not like I just sweep whack pretty much.
Bro, y'all gotta work at the Berlin Rag.
Yeah, I don't know. I do low key hate little kids.
It's not that bad. 15 an hour.
I should pick you up. Turn you way up on you, kid. Turn you way up.
I'll I can play cover while we're waiting for him. Alright, I'll play cover, ready?
She grew up in the Indiana town, had a good-looking mama. Never was around, but she grew up tall and she grew up right with the Indiana boys on the Indiana night singing. She moved around here at the age of 18. She blew them boys away as more than they've seen. I was introduced and we both started grooving. I said I dig a baby, but I got to keep moving. Keep moving along. Stands with Mary Jane, one more time to kill the pain. Summer creeping in, I'm tired of staring. Oh no, but I've been told you never grow down, never grow old. I'm tired of screwing up, I'm tired of going down, I'm tired of myself, I'm tired of this town. Oh my, oh hell yes, you got to put on that party dress. Buy me a drink, take me a song, take me into home, 'cause I can't stay alone. Sing Last Dance with Mary Jane, one more time to kill the pain. There's pigeons down on Margaret Square. She's standing in her underwear, looking down from the hotel room. Nightfall will be coming soon. Oh my. hit the next number, talk to the phone, sing a last dance with Mary Jane. One more time to kill the pain. But I feel summer creeping in and out. Time this town again.
That's just a little warm-up song.
Yeah. Love it. What's that tune? I know that one.
Mary Jane's Last Dance by Tom Petty.
Okay.
You come to the album now. So this one is most people's favorite. This one's called First 18. And the way I wrote it was I was texting Ant and I was just like, you know, send me what you think would sound like would be a good song idea. And he said, you know, like about the first 18 years of your life and like some hardships and stuff like that. And I'm like, first 18, that's good. So then I just took the first 18 part.
Yeah.
And then I tried to make this one more upbeat because most of the album's kind of slow.
What you got a Washburn there?
Yes,
I like that. I think it's nice. Where'd you pick that up?
Christmas. But I'm trying
Nice,
to
nice.
trying to get a new guitar right now.
What do you look? Yeah.
PRS.
Oh yeah, acoustic?
Yeah.
No way. My dad's got a PRS.
Electric.
Mark Tremonti from Creed, like a fucking $5,000 guitar. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, PRSs are that one. I just.
It's cool. I actually like that a lot. I like black guitars.
Yeah.
That's wicked
It's
cool.
cash style.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Yeah, I'll do first 18. I get a little squirrely with the lyrics, but here we go.
Your first 18, are young and free. So many first things to see. Taking it slow and just learning all the roads. But you don't care 'cause you know that life is so young and life is so sweet. You're just gonna learn from your first 18, first 18, first 18. So pure and fun. Your first 18, first 18. So full of joy and love, steam. You'll find out where you belong, fit in well. Picking out your future while still being scared. It's okay to be lost and cry out. First 18, so beautiful. First 18, trying new things. Where will I fit? Just follow your heart. Got it. Your first 18, first 18 is your first 18. First 18.
Nice. I do like that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that one's it's not my favorite, but a lot of people like it.
Yeah.
Capo's wreak havoc on tuning. Cam, you said you were a big country guy, so
Absolutely.
you just kind of want my one country song on the album. This one, you said you want a little like background songs, right? So most of my songs probably take like 25 to 30 minutes to write,
Really?
because it's not a long process, except for my first song. That one took probably like 3 hours.
Yeah.
But they just kind of pop in my head.
Yeah.
Just kind of write them down. The hardest part's finding chord progressions that'll work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this one is called A Soldier's Salute. And I know you guys weren't really buddies, but
Who, me and Liam?
yeah,
Wow. I mean, I didn't really know him.
yeah, you guys didn't get along. Always, I
Which-
get it.
Which Liam's at?
I didn't think we had beef, but maybe probably I might have talked some shit.
Yeah.
But
Now who's that? Your
Liam
goal?
Carnes.
Oh, I don't know.
yeah,
He was the goalie for Gorham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one, he joined the army.
Yep.
And this one I wrote for him the night before he left.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
He wants to defend. Protect this country with its might. Stand for greatness, but he's right. The hardest part is saying goodbye, but I've lost a love in my life. Saying goodbye with tears in my eyes while he won't change the world. He's nothing. He's the best. He's the best friend. He's always there. Side. If I were in trouble, he's mine. Truth, he won't spare my feelings. He's gonna put on a show. The hardest part is letting go, but I've lost a tears in my eyes while he wants it. No, he's gonna change the world. He's nothing like. He's the best. He's the best. It's gonna change the world. Nothing like the rest. The damn best. The best. Yeah, I got one more in the book.
That one's a cool one. Like that.
You like that one?
Yeah, I like that one a lot. You know, it's a story behind it, which always gets people into it, which is really cool. And the
And I
fact,
have-
like, you can hear the emotion. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I kinda
that's
like
awesome.
How you do have you're writing your songs about something. You know what I mean? It's not just like nonsense. You're writing a song about something, which I like.
Right. Like I said, that story behind it and like the personal attachment you have to it. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that can relate to that song. So that's just that's what you're gonna find, that connection with like the followers you have trying to listen to you. So that's really cool. Like I said, networking yourself to get out there to find those people that are doing it is the hardest part.
Yeah.
But once you do, like, I like that song a lot for sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Do you guys want one on the album, or do you want an unreleased one? That's not
Oh,
completely finished
let's
yet.
get an unreleased one.
Unreleased one, yeah.
I like that.
First.
That's right.
It's not completely done yet, but I can try.
Yeah, no worries.
I can try my best.
No worries.
Alright, this one's kind of about, like, it's called Running Back to You. This one, I don't really have an emotional connection to or anything like that. It just kind of came to mind, so. Hopefully I can get this right.
I don't know how good it sounds on the stream, to be honest. Hopefully it sounds good enough, but
Yeah, that's whatever. However it sounds, it sounds.
Late at night, I can't fall asleep. I take a look over at those empty sheets. last week. Wait, just last week. It's felt like an eternity. Slow, thinking of you, girl, thinking of where it went wrong. If I could take it back, you know I would a million times. If I started with I'm sorry, I wouldn't have so much time. No matter how hard I try, no matter what those thoughts come back, those thoughts of you. So much damage, they break my heart. I want back to me, but I keep running back to you.
That's all I have right now.
I like that one a lot.
Do you?
I think
Yeah,
that was my
that was a
favorite
good
one.
one
I
too,
think
yeah.
that's like when you like got into it. Like first thing I thought was like, dude, I hear that on the radio. Like low key, I swear to God, that was a good one. I like
that one
a
was a
lot.
good one. I don't know. I just think everything went so well with that.
Yeah, I like that melody you got.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was trying to find the words to put it together. The words that you used in it, and then the tune, like everything together. I guess you want to call it the melody, in music terms, But that one I like that one a lot too.
Yeah, I just try and find for that one. I was just trying to find a common ground with everyone. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
course.
No, that was a good one. Yeah, for sure.
You out?
And that one plans on going on your next album.
Yeah, that'll be one. I'm not sure if that one's gonna be a single I drop
Right.
or a album. But
Well, what a lot of people do is they'll drop it as a single and then have it on the album too, right?
Right. Yep.
play baseball, right?
Played baseball like 2 years. Yeah.
What position were you?
My freshman year when I started, I was kind of just a fill-in, like anywhere. And then my senior year, when I played my senior year, started in center field, and then by like the third or fourth game, I ended up playing shortstop. So I finished high school at short.
Did you play with
So.
Dylan?
Dylan,
Bison?
I did. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Your sophomore year?
No, my senior year.
I think
Dylan's 20.
When I was a senior, Dylan was a
you played,
Junior or
you
sophomore?
Played baseball all 4 years, or you only played
no.
junior or senior?
I only played freshman year. I played sophomore year. I started to play, didn't finish the season. Junior year didn't play. Senior year I played.
Okay.
So
Yeah, but mainly hockey guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
mainly hockey.
You have roll
Played
bars?
football. Played football for a couple years, 2 years. Then I played soccer for one. Then I didn't play anything. Just focused on hockey, and then had row bars for baseball.
Did you like him?
I loved him.
Yeah.
Row
How
bars
do
is
you-
row bars is a good dude.
How do you hate him?
Yeah, for sure.
Does he?
So, I mean, he was going through his stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody really knew about it till after anyway. But the one thing, like, the reason why I like him is he was such a good guy. Like, it didn't matter what he was for a coach. It didn't matter anything like that. Like, senior night, like, the speech he gave us was just, it was, like, heartfelt and meantful. And the one thing he said was, like, because when you're growing up, everybody wants to do this. Everybody wants to do that. Like, you always see yourself at the highest level. You always want to continue playing sports. And he literally just put it in, like, instead of shutting us down and saying, like, you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to play this. You're not going to do this. He was like, you know what? You're a great group of guys, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you decide to do in life, be a professional at what you do. And that line has kind of
That is a-
stuck with me
That is a good line.
over everything because, success sometimes isn't really measured by like money and the way people see it in our day and age now. Success is, to me, measured by the way you feel and how you present yourself. And that line just sticks with me because it doesn't matter if you go be a police officer, a firefighter, an EMT, a doctor. It really doesn't matter what you do in this world. If you're a professional and you carry yourself like a professional, you're going to get a job somewhere.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more heroic things out there than just becoming a professional athlete or a professional whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Then these people that we see, that we look at, that make a lot of money, that we call professionals, there's a lot more things you can do that's professional.
Yeah, and social media ruins that.
Right. So the fact that he told us that day, because baseball, when you end baseball, is like almost right before you graduate.
Yeah.
So like we ended like probably we didn't make playoffs. Maybe 2-3 weeks. Well, probably longer than that. Probably a month before graduation. So
Yeah.
that was like one of the biggest things that ever stuck out to me was that line right there. Like whatever you do in life, be a professional at what you do. And it doesn't matter if you become a professional or you're just a professional at your job. Just be
Yeah, yeah.
professional.
I like that a lot.
For sure. Absolutely.
So, going into college, is your number one plan music?
It's just
It's obviously hard to tell, but are your other majors more of like a fallback, or is it the other way around?
I'm kind of giving myself a 4-year window
Yeah.
to try and make music a full-time thing.
And if it doesn't work, then you kind of got that fallback, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of more like that. Than
Yeah, yeah,
anything
yeah.
else.
Yeah, that
That's-
makes sense.
Definitely the way to do it though, for sure.
And I'm
'Cause
playing baseball too, so that's
That's true. Yeah.
and like I said, you're going to the area where, networking yourself is going to be still kind of hard, but don't be scared to do it. Like if you're not scared to do it, I think you're putting yourself in the best situation. That's for sure. So
Have you already like played at all with them guys, or like went down for anything like that?
all for baseball.
Yeah.
So I met the coach. I haven't really met anyone on the team besides all the incoming freshmen, and we're all gonna room together and stuff like that.
That's cool.
But no, I haven't played with any of the guys or anything like that. But they were like 4-30 last year. So anything.
and you start early before school.
Yeah. No.
Like they have
what
a
our
fall
coach
ball, or-
does, what our coach does is, so you're allowed. I think it's like 25 total days for
Yep.
fall. Like, so you can start early and be done early, or you can start it late and be done later.
Yep.
What he likes to do is he likes to give us 2 weeks before, like, from the start of school till our first practice. He likes to give us 2 weeks to get adjusted to the college life.
Yep.
And then he.
That's good. I like that. Are you training at all?
Yeah, I go to the gym every day. I run.
Good.
And then I'm also playing in the summer for a team.
Yeah, and we-
Cannons.
No, I'm not doing that. That was.
Did you age out?
No, I could have done it this year, but it's travel's expensive.
So
I'm going to college.
Right.
So what are you doing for ball this year in the
It's
summer?
a team called 603 Rumble.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, they're at Lake Plymouth.
yeah. Brody plays that, right?
Brody Nagel?
Yeah.
No, he was going to, but
Oh, he did. Okay, but I've seen you guys. Yeah, it's DJ, right?
no, that's Legion.
What? I could have sworn. What is his team called?
DJ?
Yeah.
Oh.
Post 36.
Yeah.
okay,
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got confused. So, yeah, okay.
And so
But
we.
is that pretty good ball?
Oh, I'm playing like we faced a kid from Vermont who's 16 right now, and he hit 91 against us. And they're starting.
That's
an offer for
crazy.
him, and it's just
He's already committed.
he has an offer.
Oh.
It's just like
Insane.
yeah, it's just
Yep.
stupid. But I'm facing the best hitters, and my stats aren't the best, but now I'm working on stuff to get ready for college.
Yeah. And so we like, obviously you play baseball and everything. Like you're going for baseball. What positions do you play? Never really
I'm
talked
just gonna
about that.
pitch.
Are you
Pitcher?
not gonna
Yeah.
hit?
No. Fuck that.
Are you, where did you hit recently this year?
I batted
So-
449.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a
right?
great year. That's a
I was gonna say,
that's a
I'm
great
pretty, I
year.
heard,
So
I heard you hit it, that you were hitting pretty well.
that's
Yeah,
I mean-
Obviously, there's the injury stuff too, right?
it's just like there's a certain point where I just can't hit anymore. Where they start throwing hard, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't do that. And I
Uh,
fuck it up.
that's funny though.
So what
if
do you-
if you ever get the chance to hit, you should hit though.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hit.
Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna
the-
tell my coach I hit bombs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's
LSU
right.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I've
one of my
seen that.
favorite clips. Like, oh, tells his coach he hits bombs, and then they go to the press conference, and he goes,
Yeah,
"My
yeah.
high school coach never even let me hit."
Yeah.
That's
That-
gonna be hopefully me.
Yeah, that's just that's one of the greatest like post game interviews
I have
ever.
seen
That's
that.
so awesome.
Yeah,
Oh.
coach, I hit bombs in high school.
Yeah. goes out and smokes a bomb.
Yeah.
Hasn't hit a day in his life in college. Hasn't hit.
High school.
Yeah, it's just.
So what are you clocking in at right now?
Our playoff game against Woodsville, where I pitched a complete game.
Yeah.
I sat 78 and I topped 79, but this summer I've hit 81, 82 a couple times. But I'm a lefty. I don't have to throw hard.
It's true. Lefties
So what
have
do
that
you-
advantage. I don't know what it is.
what do you
Everyone
got
loves
for,
a lefty
like-
pitcher.
Key pitches.
Oh, so my go-to used to be my 4-seam, but it's been kind of getting rocked. So I kind of switched to a 2-seam because it has more movement, and it's
Yeah.
been working. And then my slider and curve.
Yeah, that's like your 3 go-to.
Yeah.
Got any like wild ones in there?
Nah, that's
Not
Landon.
really.
Yeah.
That's
Landon?
Landon.
Really?
Landon has 3 of every pitch.
You throw a changeup at all, or
That's what I've been working on this summer.
what kind?
No,
Just a
circle.
regular circle? That
It's tough.
I was never like a pitcher or whatever, but like when I pitched, I never threw fast. But when I would throw a changeup, I held it like a circle. Like that was the easiest pitch I could throw. I don't know why it felt so comfortable in my hand. Like
You
it
have
just
big fingers, like long
No.
fingers.
not at all. It just felt so comfortable to hold the baseball like this and throw it.
See, I was the complete opposite because I used to pitch a lot in Cal Ripken, and I had no off speed until we went to like states, and coach was like, "Okay, and you need to like try a curveball here," because I was so much bigger than everybody and so much taller, and I was a little bit stronger, and so I would just throw as hard as I could and find the strike.
See, but I just felt like my curveballs were so noticeable. Like
Oh yeah.
I am like very over the top with like a fastball, and then when I come with a changeup, like I'm still over the like when I throw, like it's like back and it's like straight like forward. So when I throw a curveball, it was like here, but instead of coming through like this, I'd come through like down. So it was like just very noticeable. So I don't know when I don't know when I.
threw the curveball, right? Curveball is more like.
It depends how you
three-quarters,
throw. It depends if you
Yeah, it
throw like a
depends on your
12-6
heart, yeah.
or if it like.
Yeah,
There's so many
12-6 is
different
like,
ways,
it's literally
but
like right
I
over
just-
the
That's
top,
what Jared
right?
does.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was so noticeable for me. Like it just out of my hand. Like you knew what I was throwing. Like I was rolling over my hand. I was going from up here to down here, and there was never much movement to it or whatever. But I don't know
Is this
when I
Cal Ripken?
wanted to go. Caribbean, I pitched a little bit in high school, not too much. Middle school, a little bit more.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, when I wanted to throw a changeup, I held it like a circle change. I probably didn't get the movement like it, but it just felt way more comfortable than palming a baseball.
Yeah.
It was weird. You just hold it with the seams, almost like you do a curveball, and I would kind of like roll over a little bit like this, but not like to a point where like it was so noticeable compared to a curveball. So that's the only 2 pitches I really threw. So I didn't pitch too much.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I like that.
That's
It
like
just
the hardest pitch to throw.
it felt so comfortable though. Like that's the weirdest thing. I don't know why. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you, but just if you hold the baseball like this and you just it just felt comfortable. I don't know, it was weird.
I was
Hard to
always-
explain.
I was always a big catcher. I used to love to catch.
I did too.
Like,
Growing
even,
up, I
like,
loved catching.
All the way through, like even like my last year, whatever, freshman year, when I absolutely hated baseball, I would love to catch. Like catching was the best thing.
Yeah. So when you ask me what position, like growing up until like 7th grade, I caught, and that was my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely.
But
And like, I felt like as a catcher, I could throw the ball harder than when I pitched, which was weird. Like I could throw the ball down to second base pretty good. Throw me on a pitching mound, and it's like I feel like I lose my velocity. It was weird.
yeah.
But
Yeah, pitching is a lot of. Pitching to me is like golf. Oh, just about everything has to be perfect.
right.
You know what I mean?
And
Does that
I
make
get what you're
sense?
saying. Like you miss by an inch and they're gonna crush it.
Yeah. I feel like catching's so fun though, because like you're just as involved as the pitcher, but you don't have the stress and you don't have the like.
That's true.
I don't know, like, yeah, you have to block it and you have to do that, and you work. I don't say you work harder than a pitcher because pitching sucks, but you work just as hard as a pitcher, but you don't.
Catchers work.
Right, but you don't have like the. Okay, this guy just hit a bomb that's on the catcher. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like it's hard to explain, but like being
No, I
a
get it,
catcher, you're
yeah.
involved in every, and they say every pitch, everyone's supposed to be involved, blah blah. Blah. it's baseball. You're not involved. Like if you're a catcher though, you're literally involved.
Yeah.
Whether you're here and you're ready and the guy hits it, you're still involved. But if he hits a bomb as a catcher, you can get pissed, but it's not on you. As a
Yeah.
pitcher, you're like, fuck, dude, this guy just hit a fucking home run off me. As a catcher, you're like, all right, I got to find a way to pump up my pitcher. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
different. It's different. So I would way rather prefer being a catcher.
Did you let
For
any
sure.
home runs this year?
At school, no, but yeah, summer I have. I've let it
School,
too.
no.
Now, summer ball, wooden bat or metal bat?
So it depends on the tournament.
Really?
Yeah, so
What do you prefer? Do you hit?
I hit in the summer, and once I've started, the average velocity I've probably faced this summer is around like 84 to 80, 85. And it's just I can't fucking I can hit it, but
So what do you
can't hit it.
prefer?
Pitching.
No, I mean like composite bats or like metal or wood bats?
When I'm pitching or hitting?
No, hitting.
Okay, so wood bats, it's like if you barrel one up and crush it, you're like, oh yeah.
Feels
I
so
fucking
good.
crushed that.
Feels
And a
so
sound,
good.
You hear
Feels
the
so-
crack, and
And I feel
Oh.
like it never goes
So-
anywhere. Is that not
yeah,
true?
yeah, but then it's like say you line out or something like that. It's like, oh, it's a wood bat. I want
Right.
to crush that with composite.
Yeah.
You know what's-
you gotta get a full.
You know what's weird though is like I loved wood bats
Yeah, I
in
do
high
too.
school. Like loved it. I broke. I remember Blake Letourneau's bats I broke. Traveling Montaigne's bats I broke, and like everyone's like, why do you swing a wood bat? Like because in high school you can choose
It's
like
so
what you want.
fun. It's
But-
so fun.
I literally felt like I swung a wooden bat better than a metal bat, and I don't know why. And the funniest time was people are like, no, you're using a metal bat. We were in Newfound. I don't know if you played in Newfound at all.
Oh, it's short.
Yeah, it's pretty short. Like one of the shortest things. And I was like, no, I'm gonna show you guys I can hit a fucking wooden bat and I can rake this ball. I went up there, hit an absolute bomb, foul. Pissed. Next pitch, grounded out, I think, to like the pitcher or whatever. I was so pissed. Probably the furthest, not the furthest ball I ever hit, but one of the furthest balls I ever hit, just rope foul. And like you said, when you hit a ball with a wooden bat and you hit it in the sweet spot, everything about it feels good. And you hear that crack of the bat and it sounds like you feel like you're in the show in the moment. Like you feel like you're in the show. You just hit this ball perfect and you just watch it and it goes foul and you're so pissed. It sucked.
Would you have bat flipped?
In that moment of time, I think I was just dumbfounded and like staring at like, I don't know what I would have done, honestly.
Dude,
I mean, we were bad that year though. I think we won like 2 games. So
I wish I
don't know if
could have.
would've bat flipped.
I wish I could have stayed as good as I was my last year of Cal Ripken.
Dude,
Me too.
You hit bombs.
Cal
Oh
Ripken, my
my
last year was like the
God.
best year I ever had in baseball.
That sucked.
Best
I used
year
to
ever.
fucking crush the ball. I could like it was at the
Remember
point.
that window you broke?
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about that?
No.
It was a district tournament in Lancaster, and there was one fence, and there was another like 20 feet, and then there was another fence, and then there was cars, and I broke the umpire's windshield.
Oh man, that's awesome.
With
bro.
a
Like,
home run.
when you're growing up, like playing at community field,
Yeah.
that's all you want to do is break cars,
Oh,
like
yeah.
dent cars, hit car windshields and
No,
stuff.
but
That's
this
awesome.
wasn't a home run at the district
Yep.
tournament. You know what I mean? It was pretty sick. But
I've
dude,
never hit a home run.
never?
Never hit a home run.
Oh,
Damn.
dude, I used to crush them. Like, I remember, for some reason, it was like all-star tryouts, right?
Yep.
And I show up there, and he's got the pitching machine lined up. I hit like 15 home runs that one day.
I was never like a power hitter, but I will never forget going back to playing like Great North Woods and stuff like that. District tournament, like my last year at Cal Ripken, the best year I ever played baseball in my life, and we were playing the Great North Woods, and they had a pretty good stud on the mound. I don't know if you know Chance Fodvarka. I don't even know if I just said that right, but he used to be from Berlin, moved there, played, and yeah, and he was a stud. Like he threw hard and wicked fast, just great baseball player. And we were home, so we hit in the bottom of the first, and I was a leadoff. And the first pitch he sent me just was dead center, just gone, just pimped. Like I was feeling good. Yep. So the second time I came up, I was like, he's still on the mound. I think we were still up 1-0 at this point, and I was like, he's going for it. Like he's still pitching good. Like we're only up 1-0. You know, it's like the 3rd or 4th inning now. Like we haven't scored any more runs. Like he's pitching well. We had a runner on first, I think, from a walk right in front of me. Just a not a bloop, but like a over the first baseman's head, in between the right fielder's head, and it ended up taking a weird kick, and it went by him, and I ended up getting a triple out of it. And so I was like, I felt confident hitting him, right? Right? Yeah. So I was wicked confident, and then they ended up coming back and tying the game. And then the next time I got up, I was just like, I'm pumped up, ready to go. I saw 3 pitches from him, and the third pitch again, dead center, bomb, just gone.
2-in-1 game.
So yeah, so then they ended up coming back and tying it again, and we go to the bottom of the 6th because I think you only play 6 in Cavemen, right?
Yeah.
So we go to the bottom of the 6th, and so I'm 3 for 3 with 2 home runs and a triple. So they intentionally walked me, put me on first. We might have actually been down 1 at this point. I don't know. You'd have to ask Trav Lamontagne because he would know exactly. But I remember,
Like that.
I remember them. Yeah, but well, they walked me, and we were either down 1 or tied, and they walked me to get to him, and like first pitch bomb, game over. Like it was one of those things where like we just knocked off like the team that was supposed to win the districts, the team that's better, like their studs pitching.
I can't
like,
believe you've never hit an in-game home run. Dude, that to this day probably one of the best feelings of
it's
my
your
life.
first home run.
Oh, dude, my
Your first home run.
Okay, listen to this. My first home run. You played at the community. There's the 2 little league
Minor league
fields. Yeah,
In the majors, yeah.
Yeah.
I was at the one closest to the road. Okay, first ever home run. Cody Lemieux. Okay,
Oh no.
crushed over our fence and the other field fence into the other kid's game, dude. I was like, oh yeah, that was first one was that was a good one. But dude, the last year of Cal Ripken, oh man, I couldn't even tell you how many home runs I hit. But dude, it's just there's no better feeling than connecting and just watching it. And I wish I was older because then I would have had the balls to do like a 6-celly. You know what I
That's
mean?
like in high school it was so hard. Like some of the fences are actually so
Especially
far. Like
Memorial.
Yeah,
What the
Memorial
fuck?
was like 350.
So
I know
big.
these kids like some kids pimp balls and stuff, but like Memorial's like a legit MLB field.
No, it
Like
really
I mean,
is.
Went out of Memorial.
yeah, I mean
Yeah.
dead center's like not. I mean it's like what 390. Then you got like the shortest porch is like 340 maybe, and then like the other side's 360. Like
Didn't Carter Devin put one up? I think he did, right?
I know Sam did.
Yeah.
Sam CV hit a bomb. Like
Yeah,
From
maybe
Kennett?
that's- Yeah.
414.
yeah, he hit one like way up in the trees. I heard
Yeah.
like a fucking bomb. If you hit one out of Memorial, we were playing Winnisquam, and I remember a kid pimped one off of us. I'm standing there playing shortstop and watching this ball go, watching it go, and it ended up hitting the catcher's roof of his truck out there in right field, and it was just like, I can't believe he just did that.
That's-
Like it was a
I think right
bomb.
field is the shortest.
Right field's the
one, right?
shortest, but it's still
Still,
still
yeah.
a bomb. Like you're a
Yeah.
high school kid, like hitting that, and it's just, I don't know. When I got older, I feel like I never hit a home run in high school, but growing up, it felt so good to hit one. Like there was
honestly-
nothing better than it, and I wish I would have had that feeling the older I got. But like
Yeah.
I said,
Me too.
it's so freaking hard. Like I see why these guys in the major league bat flip. I see why they get so
Oh my
jacked up. Like
God.
to square a ball up and to know, like right off the bat, like I just pimped that thing.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Oh my god.
That's
I
sick.
couldn't even imagine.
And
No.
bro, hitting a home run with a guy throwing 95, that would be nuts.
Right? Like, not even that. Like baseball player, like it's hard to hit a 95, 96, 100 mile an hour fastball, right? These guys are throwing 100 mile an hour fastball to a 92 mile an hour slide. Like that's a 8 to 10 mile an hour difference, and there's movement on a ball.
Yeah, it moves
Like,
20 inches.
And you have what, like, it's like 0.2 milliseconds or whatever to like have the choice to react. Just insane stats when you break it down to watch what these guys do. Insane.
Yeah, it
What's
does-
the fastest you've ever faced?
I faced one kid throwing 90 last year, and then Tyler. Tyler Hicks.
What was he?
Yeah.
What was he pitching at his max in high school?
91, 92.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think he topped out at like the most I heard him top out at was like 92, but yeah,
He
he
threw
could throw
90.
like 90.
Yeah.
And he had a gross slider.
Yeah. How'd that end up? Anyways,
Yeah, not fun. Because it's just like when you're in the box, the biggest thing I'm just thinking. So I throw lefty, but I bat righty.
Okay.
So my left arm is exposed. So I'm just thinking
Right.
the whole time I'm gonna get fucking domed in the elbow.
Right. Yeah.
Because that happened once. This kid was throwing like 82, 83, and we had a double header. And it was we were down 7-2. It was like the number 1 team in the state. They were gross. They had I don't know if you know Will Perkowski. He's going to SNU, and then they had this other kid that goes to Goffstown who's committed to UMass Lowell for baseball.
I remember playing the Goffstown kids that were gross. And
Yeah.
Babe Ruth.
So these kids are just stacked. Yeah, remember those teams?
Yeah, I do.
Bro,
What was that kid's name?
Brian.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Bro,
Brian.
still talking about him
Oh man.
with Dylan. Cause he someone suicide squeezed and he dove and tagged him.
It was me.
You were the one that got
It was
tagged.
me. Yes, dude.
Bro,
it
that
was
was-
me.
That was.
I was like, "There's no way that just happened." DJ's like, "Yo, go." And dude, yes, that was actually me, not even mine.
Dude. It was so stupid. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember just seeing it live.
I was
The
like,
sweetest
"Dude, what
ever
the
gonna
fuck?"
score? And then he Superman died.
I know.
And tagged. You're like,
Yeah.
What the fuck just
No, I
happened?
actually remember that. That was me. That's funny.
That was nuts. That was the day Keisha went 4 for 4.
Yeah.
And Silas was hyping him up.
Yeah. I think I saw a couple of helmets fly that game.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, was Tyler Russo on that team? Or no, there's no way.
He joined us
Was he?
for Babe Ruth, yeah.
I was on the same team as him. He
Yeah.
was like 5 years older. No, yeah, 5 years older than me.
Yeah, he played with us.
No.
Yeah, you don't.
Well, yeah, no, not 5 years, 4 years. So yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Because he would have been still in high school. I was a freshman.
Yeah, did you guys play soccer together?
Yeah, that makes sense. Wow,
What's been your favorite year of soccer?
this year for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are
Just
you
'cause
guys good?
not really. Our record wasn't good, but lucky, dude. I was gross.
I remember the Gorham Berlin game when you made that 6 save your sophomore year.
Yeah,
I just remember that one where you put your hand up.
Yeah.
8th shot at top end.
yeah. No, but this year, I had an 80-something% save percentage and 300 shots.
That's nuts.
It was actually crazy. I'd get 20 shots a game, which in soccer is a lot, to not let up 10 goals. You know what I mean? So yeah, I went off this year, and it really, I was hoping for first team, but our record was shit, so I kind of expected to get second team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, we almost beat Guilford though in the first round of playoffs. It was 2-0, but they had a penalty kick that I almost saved. But 2-0 against Guilford in the playoffs.
Yeah,
dude.
did they win it that year?
Yeah.
Yeah, Guilford is a crazy soccer program.
Yeah, it's honestly fun to play against, so especially as a goalie,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's a lot of fun. But yeah, dude, I don't know. We almost had him. I will say it was 1-0 for a very long time. We got into the second half. It was 1-0, and I think we're probably about halfway through the second half. Hudson, clipped an ankle in the box, and they scored on the PK. And I almost had it. It was so close, but it's alright. I went off that game too. I had Guilford parents coming up to me after the game, like, you're my MVP. You did so well. I'm like, thank you. Yeah. No, but dude, anybody? I don't even know.
Guilford's a one
Anybody
soccer
in
team
here?
that sucks.
Anybody in this?
I hate playing them. I mean, they're so good. They don't
Yeah.
suck, but I hate playing them.
Yeah.
Anybody in here that was present at the Kennett Under the Lights game this year? That was the most electric game I've ever played in my life. Did you hear about that at all?
No,
Oh my God, we
playing
beat
under the
'em.
lights is so sick, though.
Dude,
So sick.
we beat them 3-2. I had 28 saves, dude.
That's a lot for a soccer
Oh,
goalie.
dude,
A
the
lot.
Kennett fans had a megaphone and they were like, "Hey goalie, can you just please let one in?" It was so funny.
That's a lot of saves for a soccer goalie. I mean, you're lucky to get 28 shot attempts,
Yeah.
not even on goal. That's
man,
insane.
Dude, yeah, it was one of those nights where no matter every time they shoot it, it's just I don't know. It's
Right.
just,
You felt locked in,
do the
like you were
thing
locked
every
in.
time. I don't know. Yeah,
You were locked in.
One of
You
those,
felt
oh,
good.
yeah, it's just everyone has one of those games where you're like, okay, absolutely nothing is going wrong right now. I'm fucking going off right now.
I've never had that for basketball. I've always wanted that.
I'd say I've had that for basketball for sure.
Dude,
There's been a couple games where I probably win 95% field goal.
basketball is so weird though. Like
Basketball is so
I mean, like-
underratedly hard.
like I
Yeah,
I
basketball.
mean, you know, like
Especially high school.
I played hockey growing up and stuff, and like I played pickup basketball quite a bit. Like I practiced with you guys quite a bit this year. Like there's some nights where like I feel like I'm fucking Steph Curry. Like I'm just shooting every fucking thing I can, and it's like it doesn't matter if I'm fading away. It doesn't matter if I have the right form. It doesn't matter what I do. That ball goes in, and I feel so good about it. I'm confident in myself. And then there's other nights where I'm like, that's in. You airball. It's
Yeah.
like
It's-
what? Like
I'm gonna
where
do it
is
again.
this? Where is this coming
I'm gonna
from?
do it
Like
again.
what is going on?
It's just like golf. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have your days. I guess it's really like anything, realistically. You have your days, but like when you're on, and when you're off, you're off. It's
Right,
really
but
like
it's
it.
so
Do you play golf?
So bad at golf.
Do you play it a little bit?
golf's so hard.
So I'm
So
I'm
hard.
so bad at golf that I started playing golf as a righty, and then I broke 2 drivers, and I just switched lefty.
See, I started golfing probably about a month ago, and I'm already so in love with it. I love it.
It's so
much.
easy to get addicted to.
I love it.
I would say golf. Like it's weird for you because, like you said, you bat righty, pitch lefty, so like that's kind of weird.
Yeah, so
You
I
gotta-
got golf lefty,
Right.
but I
You
putt righty.
no.
Yeah, no.
You can laugh. You can laugh. I putt righty now, but I swear to you, I can putt better lefty. It's the way you hold a club
I see people
that when you
No.
so your right hand for me is my dominant hand.
Yeah.
So your right hand on a golf club is your power club the same way like when you hold a hockey stick. Like my right hand when I take a slap shot, when I take a wrist shot, like that's my power club, and my left hand's there for guidance. Like it's all in that. If you putt lefty, your right hand is your guidance club. So you keep your club like so tight and like you hit the line you want to do. Like you keep it straight. You keep it right.
Yeah.
Your left hand is there for power, and you never like overpower or I don't know. Just putting lefty as a right-handed golfer, or I'm right-handed in everything. I'm not even like switch anything.
Yeah.
Putting lefty feels so comfortable. It really does, and I honestly blame it on the fact that you're keeping your putter straighter with your right hand because that's your dominant hand. So I can see why you would putt righty the other way around.
Have you ever
I
seen the
play a lot of
people?
mini
So
golf.
you're supposed to like you're supposed to
Mini,
hold
mini
it,
golf's the
You're
shit.
supposed to hold it like this, right, or whatever.
Right.
I see people they go like this and then they go like this.
Yeah,
And they,
like the
like-
claw grip.
Yeah.
See, for me, I can't do that.
Yeah,
like
like,
it's I can't do that.
A really long one sometimes.
Yeah.
So I watch the PGA sometimes,
Yeah.
and I watch that shit. And
Yep.
that shit's that's
That's-
sick.
Yeah.
Like watching Wyndham Clark win. What was that? U.S. Open, and it was in L.A.
I think I think it was, yeah.
'Cause it wasn't the Masters. He did
No.
good.
I think it was the U.S. Open.
But like that's awesome. And then I like my uncle's really into it, so every time I go to Concord for baseball and stuff like that, we watch golf. He puts on a golf documentary.
I would say one of my favorite wins so far, and like I mean, obviously Tiger when he came back won the Masters, but like
Sick.
this past weekend, well, yeah, last weekend was Rory. Not Rory.
Speed.
No, why can't I even think of who it was?
Oh, was it okay?
Wasn't it?
Ricky
Ricky?
Fowler. Yeah,
because he
Ricky.
just choked the
like,
U.S. Open.
Right, but like Ricky winning and like his reaction, like he hasn't won since 2019. So what's it been like 4 years? And he just like that deep breath and just putting his hands on his putter and breathing it all out, and his caddy reacting so intensely, knowing how much it meant to him, where he just like took everything in. Like that's probably the coolest celebration I've seen in so long. And
Yeah.
I've always loved Ricky. Like Ricky is
Yeah.
just he's so cool. He's got the colors, I don't even know
He's
what
got the
word I'm
orange. He
looking
wears the
for.
orange a lot.
Orange, the green. He's got like
He used
what
to have a monster.
the neon colors, like
Yeah.
whatever like he's just so cool to watch. I really want to see Rory win something soon too.
Yeah.
Love Rory.
Is it
Love
live
Rory.
or live golf combining back with the PGA?
Yeah.
Bought out?
I don't know how I feel with that either. That's tough.
I always see memes about that, and everyone just is like.
Yeah.
The
That
whole
that one's
Tiger
tough.
Wall,
Yeah, that's a tough one. I just feel bad for the PGA guys that stay like
The loyal guys.
yeah, like Tiger, Rory, is it Rahm or Kepka, one of them. Like all those guys that could have left and made a
Scotty.
huge bag. Like they could have made so much money. They stayed back to PGA. Said, I'm not doing it. Like I have the PGA's back, and then the PGA went behind their back. Like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
sucks.
exactly.
That
And then
sucks.
the guys like Dustin Johnson who just wins in the end because he got more money and now
Right.
he's got his career back and it's
Right.
just kind of Phil. I understand why Phil did it because Phil was like 55.
Oh yeah, 100%. I get that for sure. But and Tiger, like he didn't need the money. But there's a lot of young golfers. Like I'm bad with like remembering like who's on what, to be honest. But like I said, it's either Rahm or Koepka. One of them stayed in the PGA, and like they're probably still making decent money. But if they would have went over there like to sign that $1 billion contract, like I saw a thing one time.
Billion? Like actually?
Oh, dude.
Well, it was
Some guys
so
make like
Tiger.
160 mil a year.
Tiger was offered like $1 billion. So like obviously those guys wouldn't have got it, but some of them would have made like some of them would have like tripled their money if they just signed a contract. Like they wouldn't have even had to win. Like just signed a contract with the LIV compared to their golf.
Yeah, and you get career earnings, so those guys don't get guaranteed anything when they go out and play.
Right.
Compared
And
to live. or live.
so the one thing like Tiger turned down $1 billion contract. So
Okay, but
Do you know the difference? Yeah, but it took him like 18 years to make $1 billion in career earnings from golf. But that's not his. Like everyone thinks of golfers making a lot of money. They have to win to make money. So like you
Yeah,
get your
but-
money off endorsements.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
So-
endorsements.
Driving cars.
But the difference between $1 billion and $1 million is insane.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I saw it was if you got was it like $5,000 a day. I'm gonna fuck this up so bad, but it was like $5,000 a day to make $1 million. Only took you like 5 years, maybe. $5,000 a day to get $1 billion took you like 500 and something years.
Yeah.
Like you would have had to live like multiple lifetimes just to get to $1 billion. So like that's the difference between $1 million and $1 billion. So when you see these billionaires, they have way more money than you even think. So for
That's-
Tiger to
and no,
turn that down and back to PGA and then them go behind his back is
That-
just insane.
That's endless money. That's money where no matter what you buy, you can't run out.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just weird.
It's
like, what are you gonna
absolutely
do?
incredible.
Like, think when you die with that type of money, you can give like $10 to every single person in the
Yeah.
USA.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. It's just insane.
That's crazy.
It's awesome, but at the same time, it's like there's so much money out there when you look at so many people that have the money they have, where it's just.
Why are you collecting still?
And I get they earn their way. I get they did this and that, but like, there's so many avenues that, in ways that money could be spent that would actually help out.
Yeah. See, I was actually saw.
I
saw
don't even
this
know how to
today.
explain it.
Yeah,
It's just-
No, I
it's
saw
so
put
this
it
messed
back
up.
in the mixer.
Right.
I saw this today. It was Mr. Beast on the Full Send podcast with the Milk Boys, and it's like that topic where it's like, you're like gonna be a billionaire, like what? Why?
But like somebody like him, like that's cool. All the challenges he does, like he gives people money for like nothing. Like yeah, okay, cool. He probably does use it as a tax write-off. A lot of people shit on him for doing that, but it's better than somebody that just doesn't do anything.
Okay,
you know what I
but
mean?
this is what the
Painting
topic
is their
was.
tax write-off. Just something like that compared to giving it.
Right.
Yeah, I can
Right.
get that.
So the topic was, they were like, when you're a billionaire, what do you want to do? Why wouldn't you just go fuck off and live your life as a billionaire? And he says, I don't. There's no point in me having all of that money.
Right.
There's no point in me sitting there doing nothing with it. I'm gonna continue to grow my brand, and with that amount of money, why would I not cure diseases and solve world hunger? And it would take only a small portion of my fortune.
Right. Not only
And
like
then the other question was, well, what? Like why haven't billionaires done that already?
right, and
You
they
know what I mean?
and honestly, like some of them probably have, but like you take Shaq for example, like people underestimate how much money that guy has. He owns like it's like 27 like different like chain restaurants and
Yeah.
stuff like he has so many different companies he owns that you don't even know about. Like
Yeah.
that guy has
Well,
more
that's
money
like-
than
yeah, that's-
anything.
That's
Like,
the thing. You gotta get your
But-
piece in the right things.
the one thing that I never will understand about these people that have all this money, and like, I guess I just don't understand it because I don't have it. But if I had that money, would I have the nice cars? Would I have the nice everything? Yeah. I am not going to buy a house that I'm not even using 10% of my house. You know what I mean? Like these houses that that you see these people have. Okay. I have this house. It's
Okay.
1,200 and something square feet. We come down here to do this here. So I use this when I have people here. Other than that, I use my bedroom, sometimes my living room, my kitchen, and my bathroom. I don't even use my upstairs. I have 2 bedrooms upstairs with a bathroom. Then I have a spare room downstairs. There's so much space that I don't even use where I get it. If they have a family, they're going to use more. Like, we would use this whole thing. But when you have a house that is so big that you use like 10% of your, what the hell is the point in paying on it?
Yeah.
Why?
So my thing is if I were to be filthy rich with endless money, it wouldn't be so much the size of the house. It would be what the house is like and where the house is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100% would be where it is, and
I want it to be
Like-
exactly how I want it to be, and I want it to be where I want it to be.
yeah, where
That's what I would spend my fortune on because that is hard to get.
you want it to be, the rooms you use. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Golf
don't.
simulator in the house has been a dream, dude.
Yeah, that'd be
A
awesome. But
bowling
like,
lane,
Yeah.
that would be tough.
Like
Right.
what?
little movie theater or something. But like,
Crazy.
stuff you're gonna actually use,
Yeah.
and like, I guess I just don't understand it. But like at the same time, like I guess I'm not in their shoes. So like, if they were to explain it, they would probably have an explanation for why. But
Because you're filthy rich, why not have a giant ass
Bro,
house
why
that
not?
you can
Why not
flex?
spend my money?
know-
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Right. But
This is what I would do instead. Instead of having like a dope ass house with 100,000 rooms, I would buy like a neighborhood or something like that. Build these nice ass houses, like build like 10 of them, and just have my
Right.
Yeah,
imagine
all
your
the
whole
homies.
family.
And yeah,
you
the
give a
families
house
and
to
the
your
homies,
friends, like, and then it's
Yeah.
like that's your street.
Well, didn't
Right.
You can do it.
Mr. Beast do that?
I'm not-
No, he.
Well, that's-
sure he did.
he
He
probably
bought, he
did.
bought a whole neighborhood for everybody in his band
that would be cool.
and his team. That's like a real thing. I swear
Yeah,
to God.
that's see like, I don't know. I'd be doing that shit instead of having
Yeah.
like your entire family crammed into one house. Yeah,
Sure.
fucking blocked.
I would- I think one of the coolest stories that I've heard, like in the past few years, was like after Jamar Chase got drafted to the Bengals, and he went to Joe Burrow's neighbor's house, knocked on their door, and said, "What can I buy this house for?" Like he wanted to be Joe Burrow's neighbor, and like they're such good friends, and like that's his quarterback. Like I'm going to buy your house.
Did he get
What do you want? Yeah, he bought it. He bought the house right next to Joe Burrow. Like they're neighbors.
Yeah, and,
Like,
and,
that's-
and the neighbor probably made about $1.5 million on it, right?
Probably more than that. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those things where like I get in his situation why he did that. But that's just so cool.
Could
Like,
you
can you
imagine-
imagine just having all the money you want to walk up to your best friend's neighbor's house and say, whatever you want to sell this house for, I'm giving you the cash. Like, I'm just going to give it to you and you're going to sell me the house and that's it.
Yeah, cash or check. What do you?
Right. Yeah, what do you prefer, right?
Venmo, you got Venmo.
For me, it would be having the mansion right next to your homie. I don't think it gets much better than that.
Right.
Like a sick ass like underground like fucking connector.
Right.
Some shit.
Yeah, like
But at the-
tunnels,
at the
yeah,
same time,
that's
like, Why not just live together? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
you
but at
need
the
the
end of the
privacy.
day,
you
yeah, at the
know?
end of the day,
Yeah.
I'm trying to go back to my house.
So-
yeah.
the only reason I say this is like we talked about when I went to go visit my dad before, right?
Yeah.
So he actually broke some horses or trained some horses, whatever, for these people that had like this wicked nice house. So this guy was one of the 4 people that made like the bypass for the heart, like the bypass machine for the heart, whatever I don't really know the full story. I was younger when it was like 13 or 14. We went to their house while he was like training some horses. I remember his girlfriend at the time, me and her, we just hung out by the pool and stuff. And like when this guy got back, he ended up taking me for a ride in one of his. He had the 4 generations of Porsches. Like he had one of each generation. Like so, like yeah,
What?
he took me for a ride in one of them one time. It was sick. But
That is so cool.
their house was so big that they had their living space. They had like 4 different living spaces in this house, right? Like it was that big. And so their son and his family lived in a different part of the house. and I will never forget them saying they see each other like twice a week.
I was
I was like, what the fuck? Like, you have two families living in the same house and you barely see each other. Like, how does that even make any sense?
That's so
But-
crazy.
Then, like, you go through their house and it's like, their portion of living doesn't, like I said, it doesn't even take up like 10% of the house. It just makes no sense. Like, you literally could fit 4 families in this house and still have your own privacy.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insanity to the point where I was like, why do you need that? Like, why? There is no point.
I get that for sure.
But at the same time, you have the money. Why not fucking spend it, I guess? I don't know. It just made no sense to me. I didn't understand it.
You know what lifestyle I vibe with? It's like retirement community homes.
Yep.
Imagine having that with like a ton of rich people.
Right.
Rich famous people. Just like fucking
Enjoying your life.
yeah.
Everybody goes out, plays golf.
Play some pickleball.
Pickleball is so underrated.
Dude,
Underrated. Pickleball might be the most underrated sport there is out there.
pickleball is so much fun.
I
don't-
played
And
it
you
a
don't
couple
even fucking move.
times.
You
Yeah.
just,
It's way better than tennis because tennis sucks. It's
What's
so
the shit
hard.
called in the front?
The kitchen.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
the kitchen, but I didn't.
Pickleball is so underrated. So
Once you learn the
underrated.
rules, because when you're learning the rules, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
Like, is this even?
No, pickleball is so fun though.
Yeah, bro. Pickleball's tough.
I played it in Florida one time because my grandparents played it, but it's my
Where do they live in Florida?
villages.
Oh, like Orlando.
It's like a little bit out. It's like an hour
Yeah.
outside of Orlando.
Went there before.
The villages
So
is
cool.
ridiculous. It's so big.
Let me just travel around on a golf cart. Like,
Yeah,
you
bro,
could
that's
drive
a life.
on a golf cart all day and
For
not,
hours.
and not see the whole villages.
hours. We went to like, so we went like the village we stayed in was like the Spanish village. Then we went to like the Western village. I don't remember what the other villages were.
There's so much
Like-
more now.
We legit went there and seriously went on a full day trip
On the golf cart.
on a golf cart with like they have highways for golf
Yes,
carts.
Dude, it's
And you're- dude,
ridiculous.
I'm
Have you
no-
never been there?
No
my
joke.
grandparents are in Bonita Springs.
No joke. You're traveling on a golf cart.
It's
Like
so
a,
sick.
a road made for golf carts with passing lanes with fucking every like you. This is a golf
So
cart
funny.
instead of cars.
And,
And then you're going like over the highway across like
over the bridge. You
Oh, yeah, you go over the
but
bridge,
a highway
dude. Oh, yeah.
underneath it?
yeah.
It's
Then,
fucking
then they have their
awesome.
own like WalMarts. They have their own
Yes.
like grocery stores.
Pure-
They
what is it called? Purex?
I don't even
Publix.
Publix.
That's
Oh,
what it
Publix
is,
is,
yeah.
Publix is nice.
I could not believe that this elderly village ran the way it ran. Like
It's awesome.
Insane.
It's so where I want to be
Insane.
when I'm older.
you know what's crazy though, is like I want to say I think it was like 20 or 25,000 people that live in the villages are from Berlin, New Hampshire.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh,
it's
man.
old New England.
Right. It literally is old New England. You go anywhere up there and like you're bound to run into somebody
Yeah.
or they're selling like New England sports stuff. Like we went to
Yeah,
like this
Dunkin'
like
only place where they have Dunkin' Donuts.
right, we went to like this place that was like a what do you call them? Like a market. What?
Like a farmer's market?
Yeah, like a farmer's
it's right in
market.
the square.
Yeah,
I've been there.
it was like a
yeah.
farmer's market,
Yeah.
and like they're selling everything of like New England sport, Patriots, Bruin. Like I was like, we're in Florida, but like they're like, oh yeah, we're from New England, or we're like, it was amazing, incredible.
Yeah, so my grandparents are like 15 minutes away from JetBlue Park. That's where the Red Sox do spring training.
That's awesome.
So we go there, and it's like we talk to the like my grandfather talks to everyone he sees because that's
My
just,
grandfather's
that's
the
that
same way.
generation does,
The
bro.
same exact way.
They
But yeah,
make
go
best
on.
friends
Yeah,
everywhere.
dude. Yeah, same. But yeah.
And so by the end, he had like 5 new best friends, and they were all from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
It's so nuts.
It's weird. dude.
It's
fucking
small,
weird.
small world.
It's
Yeah.
so
Small world.
weird.
It's crazy. Like when I was at Wentworth, one of like the days, I don't remember her name. Do you know Trevor Doherty?
Yep.
His
Yep.
girlfriend.
Jenna.
Yeah.
Yep.
She did the like, only one student got selected to do this big speech for the school, and she was one. She's like, I'm from Berlin, New Hampshire.
She's smart as fuck. Yeah.
I got there. I was like,
Yeah,
Oh
she's
my
like
God.
she's like smart as fuck, I guess. Yeah. I mean, she was like a year younger than me, I think. Yeah. She was wicked smart. But it really is a small world. Like wherever you go, I feel like there's always ties to New England
yeah.
for sure. I don't know what it is about here, but there's
Yeah.
always ties. A lot of people like to leave here because they think it's boring and stuff, I guess. But then like at the end of the day, like there's always ties to New England.
It goes back to that thing. You don't even realize where you're living. Like when
And
you're
to-
here,
Take it for granted.
you're like, dude, why the fuck are all these fucking four-wheeler people coming up here?
Right.
Why are all these leaf peepers coming up here? Because you have no idea what you're living in because you've been here your whole life. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
You take it for granted for sure. And then you get out and
And you're like, damn.
damn, I'd go back.
Yeah, that's what I picked up my buddy Liam when he came back, and he's like, you know what I miss? Just snow in New Hampshire, like Gorham. And I was like, miss Gorham, bro? Like, fuck this
Right?
place.
Well, that's another thing, like foliage, like the
Yeah.
That's like rare. That's like a gem, like low key.
So we went out to my grandfather lived in North Carolina for a while,
Yeah.
and the Smoky Mountains out there are like a wicked big mountain range, right? The foliage out there was just different. Like they had a fall, but it was all orange, no like different color. Like here it's like orange, red,
Yeah.
this, that. Like there's so many different vibrant, like there's so many different vibrant colors. Where out there it was all just like one orange color, and he always tried to tell us like it's not the same. It's not the same, you know.
Oh, it's a gem.
And then you come up here and or you go out there, but for them they come up here most of the time and realize the difference. I don't think there's anything that can beat being on top of a mountain and overlooking foliage in New England.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't realize, like, the drive to North Conway, when you're going through the notch and foliage.
That's
Beautiful.
That's what I had in my mind when we were
Yeah.
talking
Beautiful,
about it.
like yeah.
And I'm just on my phone.
And you take it,
driving
yeah,
North
you take it for
Conway.
granted, right? Yeah.
Fucking whatever.
But you're so used to seeing it and going out there like seeing it firsthand and see like so in North Carolina they have that foliage, but it's not the same. But if you go like out west or if you go down south, they don't even have that. Like,
No.
they don't even get to experience that.
Yeah.
And that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Completely blows my mind because how can you not be able to experience a fall? Like I don't think for me there's anything better than a nice cool fall night sitting out by a fire or
See, I like fall purely because of soccer. Every time it starts to get cold, I always think of soccer. That's what it is for
Homecoming.
me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
oh yeah,
That's the
homecoming's
time of the year.
huge.
Fucking.
That's awesome. And like
I'm not gonna lie.
you know what would be awesome? Like in the south, homecomings are way bigger than up here.
Yeah, they got football.
Because right,
Football
football
is
and cheerleaders,
big,
like that's like so big to them.
Yeah.
And like up here, we pride on homecoming all because of like the float building and the parades and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's
But
not
like
even. Yeah.
we take advantage, like I said, we just take everything in the fall for granted. Like I think fall might be the best season you could have. I love winter.
Spring, too.
I love winter and I like spring. The only thing that sucks about
The wetness.
spring is like spring is really where the depression sits in. Like
Dude, that's so
Oh,
true.
really?
I hate spring so
yeah,
much.
it's
I
for me
hate
it's
spring.
weird because like you feel summer coming, but in times the snow like is brown, it's melting, and then when it melts, you have a bunch of rain, and then you have no leaves
That's
on
the
the
thing.
trees. Like it's just very dull, like
For
blah,
me-
like it's blah.
For me, the worst thing about spring is when you have those sunny days, but it's still too cold to go do anything outside.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the worst part for me.
I think that's why fall might be my favorite because I like the winter. So when fall happens, you still have some nice days, but you still have some cold days. But you have beautiful sights, and then if it snows, you're like, okay, I can do something. Like
Yeah.
the
don't
thing
know
I
what-
hate the worst about winter up here lately is it's been very cold and not a lot of snow.
Yeah,
If
we-
it's gonna
we
be
talked
cold,
about
I
this,
want
yeah.
snow.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
It's
I
so
want to
true,
go
so
snowmobiling. I want to go snowboarding. Like if it's gonna be cold, just snow, and if it's not gonna snow, I don't want that cold. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I like fall. Fall for me, I don't know what it is. It's like every time fall comes around, it's almost like nostalgic to me. Just the smells and the Halloween and
Pumpkin
the, and,
spice.
and the apple picking and the apple cider. I love all of
Apple
it.
cider,
You guys go to
Oh,
Sherman Farms.
goaded.
Sherman Farms, yeah.
Bro, Sherman-
Apple cider's goaded.
Like that's the type of shit I'm talking about.
I think Halloween might be an underrated holiday. Underrated.
I
It's not even like a
love
holiday. It's not even a holiday, but it should be.
Fucking king though.
But Halloween.
I like Easter.
Okay, tell me the
Fall. See, and that's another thing. Thanksgiving,
Oh,
Gas,
Thanksgiving.
gas,
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
like
the
fall-
best food. The
fall's
best
low-key
food.
on top. Dude.
The best food.
best
And
food
my
of the year.
birthday falls on Thanksgiving, like every few years. So like, oh yeah,
Late
November.
November?
yeah, November 24th. So like every few years it falls on Thanksgiving. Like last year was on Thanksgiving. Just-
That's tough.
Love it.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
The best food. Like I don't care what anybody says. Like you can all get together for Christmas. Nothing beats Thanksgiving food. Stuffing, greatest food in the
Wait,
world.
what do you think? My take: Halloween parties are better than Christmas parties.
Who? I honestly agree with that. Just because I've been in the college atmosphere, everybody's home for Christmas. Nobody dresses up for like Christmas parties.
Yeah.
Halloween parties
It's so high.
are fucking nuts. Like I'm not like there is nothing better than a college Halloween party. Nothing.
Really.
Insane. Just the atmosphere around a college Halloween party is the greatest thing I think I've
That's what I'm trying to
been
say.
around for a party.
Dude,
Like
fall is on top.
yeah, I would say college Halloween parties are goated, for sure, for sure. That's just incredible. Although Plymouth's Pirate Party, that's up there with a Halloween party. Like that's a nuts day, just completely nuts. That's in the fall too, though. So
What's the ones where they? What's the one where they do like the contractor bins of alcohol, like the fucking like garbage cans. I don't remember. I just remember people telling me about it. Are you sure it's not that one?
it probably could be. Pirate Party at Plymouth is nuts. That's a sick time.
I remember. Was it on the podcast you told that story about getting dragged? Or no?
I think it was, yeah.
Was it?
That was. I think that was actually Halloween weekend too.
That was funny.
One of the first times I ever spent at Plym. No, that's Plym and UNH are the only colleges I've been to for Halloween. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Halloween is absolutely insane when it comes to college parties. And you're gonna be right downtown Boston. You're gonna be right in every like. I honestly don't even know how to explain it. It's everybody's
Something
just
about it,
ready
man.
to go. You're
Something about
like
it.
everybody dresses up like. It's so fun, so fun.
It doesn't even make sense. I feel like it would make more sense for the parties to be in spring because it's like, oh, long winter, let's fucking go.
So,
but
Yeah,
And
but
the winter is the worst.
yeah.
spring parties. I mean, I didn't even go to college, but like I just hung out with my friends that did it. So like we'd have to get somebody on here that went to college to talk about it. But the
Yeah.
spring parties are fun because that's when the weather starts getting nice. Everybody starts partying outside.
Yeah,
It's like on a
that's-
Saturday or a Sunday when it's nice outside, they call it darties, like day party. You know what I mean? So they call it a darty. So you start partying outside all day and just hang out all day outside and drink and like those are fun because people are everywhere, like lined up on the streets, just backyards, just that's fun. But
Dude, I
That's
feel like
still-
4th of July is low key up there for sending on weekends for sure. Like, dude, 4th of July, low key, people go ham.
4th of July is a good time. The only thing that sucks about being up here, like I've never been to like Winnipesaukee or something. Like you got to go to a lake. That's where the
That's-
4th of
that's
July
facts.
parties are. Like
That's fact.
Winnipesaukee is nuts, but I've never been there, so I can't say. But the 4th of July,
Yeah,
if,
but
if
then-
you can go to a lake, that'd
No,
be the
but I
place
was
to
there.
be.
I was in.
Oh yeah, you
I
went to the
was
concert
there.
this weekend, right?
I was in Laconia. I think it was.
Did you see Chicago?
No, I saw Crown the Empire, Slaughter to Prevail, Ice Nine Kills, and Falling in Reverse at the Pavilion.
Okay, it sounds heavy. Did you go to a mosh pit?
No, I wasn't in the
Yeah.
But dude, me and my dad every time he'd get like the cheap seats
Oh, yeah.
and just sneak way the fuck up.
Yeah, right.
Right.
You go back of the
Yeah.
lawn.
Yep.
$20 and then.
Also say at Meadowbrook, like I said, big country fan. So country concerts, the lawn is underrated. Everyone thinks you're gonna be in like the pit or like close by. The lawn is so underrated.
See, for country that makes sense, but for metal you want to be as close as possible because you want to feel the pounding of that guitar off your chest.
Right.
But obviously for country it's different. You know
Right.
what I mean?
I've only seen Jack Johnson at Meadowbrook.
Yeah.
I've only been to Meadowbrook.
Listen to
Meadowbrook's
this.
actually a really good concert venue.
Yeah, it's
Listen to
nice.
this.
It's dope.
really nice.
So you guys obviously, let me pull this up real quick.
What's the best concert you guys have ever been to?
Lamb of God,
That's
Megadeth.
so.
Oh, Megadeth's a big band.
Yeah.
That's-
Megadeth. Is it true that the guitarist in Megadeth or the singer in Megadeth got kicked out of Metallica?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I've heard
Okay,
that.
look at this is Slaughter to Prevail. Okay, they come out in this mask.
Yep.
Okay,
Terrifying.
so listen to this. The guy, the singer, he takes off his mask after like the first song or something. Okay.
Place probably goes nuts.
I would have thought that he would keep it on. My camera die? Hang on. Anyways, hold on. Let me fix this.
Place probably went absolutely nuts. So.
Lower intermission. Those are like the newer Yeezys, right?
Yeah, 380s. Comfiest shoe.
Really?
Bro, I get so much hate for them.
Why?
I don't know. People don't like the way they look. I think they look kind of cool.
I like those. I'd get those. Okay, I'm gonna wait for Cam to come back to tell the story because it's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Alright, I want to tell this story, and then, dude, we've been on for a long time. Okay, so listen to this. So the guy takes his mask off. This is probably like the third song, okay? And the breakdown hits. Okay, there's a long build up to this breakdown. And the breakdown hits, and it's that slow chugging riff. And to the beat, he's taking the microphone, and he's smacking it off his forehead. And he's bleeding down his face from smacking the microphone off his forehead to the beat. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen at a concert. It was this guy that I just showed you.
Lamb of God?
No, Slaughter to Prevail.
Oh, this was the one you just went to.
Yes. It's these Russian dudes. He's got this big long scar all the way up his face. He's fucking sitting there fucking boof, boof, boof. I'm like, oh my god, he's bleeding down his head. I was like, dude, that's ridiculous.
Oh my god. Where'd you see Megadeth?
I saw him once in Boston, once in Portland.
Fenway or TD or?
No, I saw him at it was like a little like tent thing, like right on the bay, like right next to the water. It was pretty cool.
I think that's where Anthony saw Steve Miller.
Yeah, it was like this like white tent thing.
What about the worst concert?
Well, worst concert. It wasn't like a bad concert. It was just this wasn't really my thing. It was Jimmy Buffett. I went to see one time.
You saw Jimmy Buffett?
Yeah.
Where? Key West?
No, it was at Mansfield, Mass, at the Xfinity Center. Cause I was down there for basketball, and my dad was like, "Hey, maybe there's a concert or something," so we went to go see him. Yeah.
You didn't like it?
Well, it's not my thing, really.
Bro, that's my plan for my 21st birthday.
Really?
Going to see Jimmy. Yeah, I like Jimmy Buffett.
Oh yeah, it was a good time. Everyone's tailgating in the parking lot. and shit
Yeah,
like that.
that. He's got some fans.
Yeah, it was good. All right, we should probably wrap this up. Cam, what are you doing? Let's go. We gotta end it off.
How'd you guys come up with the Caveman?
Ask Cam, dude. It was like, we were like talking
Hayden
about it.
came up with that, yeah.
We were talking about it, like, yeah, we should do something. We should like get it started. And I was thinking about it. I was like, we should do something with your basement. And I was like, what about like cave talk or something?
And it
I was
worked out
rolling
perfect.
around in bed. It was like 2 a.m. I just couldn't sleep. All of a sudden, I'm like, dude, the Cavemen. I text Cam at 2 a.m. I'm like, dude.
I know. I woke up the
Cavemen.
next morning with it like,
It was
oh yeah,
literally
we should
2
do
in
the
morning.
Cavemen.
And
And I was
just
like,
knew
dude,
it.
that sounds so cool. Like, the cavemen just talking in the man cave, just chilling. So, that was cool for sure.
Yeah, that's how it came to be. But
And
I
here we are.
pissed like a fucking bastard.
I know that's I
Thanks
had
for
to piss
popping
too.
in.
So Yeah, no,
Thanks
Chase,
for
thanks for
coming
coming
over,
out
bro.
and
Thanks for
playing some
the
music.
tunes.
Like,
Hey,
everybody sauce him up a follow.
plug-
Shout out,
plug
yeah,
everything. Plug
yeah.
everything.
Chase Carter Music, Instagram, and and TikTok. But
Hey, he's also
download-
on Spotify and Apple Music.
Down Small Town Dreams by Chase Carter, 7-song album on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, whatever you listen to. It's on everything.
Absolutely. And you featured what? Two of your songs tonight and then an unreleased song.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, everybody sauce him a couple follows and listen to his music. Thank you for coming on.